Welcome to Big Vile Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Vile Opinion Platform.
And I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing here, lifetime, as far as quick on lifetime, as far as lifetime is concerned, there are real people, real women out here really being abused, really missing. They're really missing. They're really chained up in basements. I've been in here 4 years. I haven't seen one person that was ever chained up in a basement come forth for anything. But I tell you one thing, before Lifetime came out, I was minding my business. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. I had tours. But when Lifetime came out, all of that went away. Meaning, before Lifetime came out, I had no charges pending against me. Nobody had went to a radio station or had went to, a police station. It took a year to put together Lifetime. If all of the things they said I did on Lifetime were true, it only take a minute to go to a police station. But when there's a crime committed, you don't go make a movie on it. You go to the police station. Nobody had done that.
Shooter, you shot me in the heart, and I've been dying since we've been apart. Oh, shooter, I don't think I'm gonna make it. See, I'm just as good as dead. I'm good as dead. Whoa, bullseye. Girl, you shot me down to my knees, yeah. Since you took your love from me, and I'm holding on to the hopes that you will return. Although I feel I've lost you forever, I will believe that you still love me. Girl, say you do, say you do, say you do. Say you still love me, shooter, shooter, yeah. You shot me in the heart, oh yeah. And I've been dying since we've been up.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Big Vile Opinion back with another live video. And today, we have no other than Peter himself. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the mothers. Happy belated Mother's Day. Man, I had a busy week leading up to Mother's Day, but guess what, man? I got time today. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there that support me, Big Vile Opinion, that support the injustice, that support the cause that brought us all here. And I want to give a shout out to the chat Everybody that's here early, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, if you haven't already done so, sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Vibes going live, man. What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. And I'm going to say it like this. What it do, Courtney Love? What it do, EJ? What it do, D Maps? What it do, A Child? What it do, Miss Carla? What it do, Miss Lady T? What's going on? What's going on? Y'all already know what's going down. Y'all know what's going down. And I'm going to start it off by saying, I'm going to start off like this.
When he left this world, he had a million girls, but we gon' always love you, Hefner. To Jim DeRogatis or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories over and over and over again. Off my name, you done went and made yourself a career. When he left this world, he had a million girls, but we gon' always love you, Hefner. To Jim DeRogatis or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories over and over and over again. Off my name, you done went and made yourself a career. Well, guess but we gon' always love you, Hefner. To Jim DeRogatis or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories over and over and over again. Off my name, you done went and made yourself a career. Well, guess what? I pray for you and your family. And you've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories, so goddess or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy us, but we gon' always love you, Hefner. To Jim DeRogatis or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 whole years. Writing the same stories over and over and over again.
To Jim DeRogatis or whatever your name is. You've been trying to destroy me for 25 years. Man, look here. It's finna happen today. What's up with it, mister? It's finna go down today. I'm finna expose this dude, man. Now, Jim DeRogatis, Peter, who you see on the stream, this guy is supposed to be a music critic. He was supposed to be a music critic, but something about this music critic that had me like, hold up. Wait a minute, something ain't right. Now I gotta put my nose in your business, Jim. Now I gotta put my nose in your business, Jim, because something ain't right. Hey, Jim. Something just ain't right. Oh, man. Jim, I gotta put my nose in your business, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man. On God, mister. On God. Hey, Jim, but this is for you, though. Today, let's get off into this, man. So, in this interview, is an interview that Jim DeRogatis done a while back. And what you all are going to hear is the biasness of Jim DeRogatis. You're going to hear some inconsistencies. You're going to hear some lies. Y'all are going to hear some shit that I'm telling y'all. Y'all are going to hear some shit. I'm telling y'all going to hear some shit and y'all going to say, hold up. wait a minute. Y'all gonna hear some shit. Y'all gonna say, hold up, wait a minute. Can't we put some sense in it? We've been asking questions about how did this R. Kelly case come about? Who was the reason for this R. Kelly case? What prompted this shit? What did what? How? We've been asking who, what, when, where, and why. It's a question that we've been asking. So I'm finna allow everyone a chance to hear what Mr. DeRogatis has to say and what he thinks is the reason why Mr. Kelly finally got justice served to him. So, with no further waiting, what's up, Ashley? Let's get into it.
And right before the show, we were talking, and I asked him, I said, Jim, how do you feel? And he said, it's not about me. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me today Mr. Jim DeRogatis. Jim, thank you for being a guest on the Adcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your interest, Eric.
Yeah. You have quite a unique story. And if someone's been under a rock right now, let's tell these folks exactly who Jim DeRogatis is.
Well, I'm an associate professor in the Department of English and Creative Writing at Columbia College. I had spent before that 15 years as the pop music critic at the Chicago Sun-Times. Roger Ebert did movies. I did all of popular music. And I've written 10 books, most of them about music. And I have a radio show, Sound Opinions, that's a very popular podcast, heard around the world, and it's on 150 public radio stations across the U.S.
That's right. And also, a lot of Jim's work has actually held up and actually gotten justice for a lot of women. And
now you hear what this black guy just said, right? This guy said a lot of Jim work has held up and got justice for a lot of women.
Stations across the U.S.
That's right. And also, a lot of Jim's work has actually held up and actually gotten justice for a lot of women. And for those who've seen the show Surviving R.Kelly, and also the trial of R.Kelly, a lot of Jim's work was actually very instrumental in that. But I want to go back to, I think it was in November.
Y'all hear what this guy just said? He said a lot of Jim's work was very instrumental in the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. So Jim is gloating right now, boy. Jim is getting a lot of credit. Jim is getting a lot of credit for his work, his efforts, his contributions. What up with it, Monty? Okay, Jim, what else did Jim do? Let's see.
I think you described in your book, it was closer around probably Thanksgiving or Christmas time, one of those holidays when you guys were actually packing it up for the night. I think there was Mr. Palish and also Mary, who was actually working with you guys. And you just got this mysterious tape. You got this tape. Tell us about this. Walk us through that, Jim, on what that was like for you.
Well, the tape gets conflated with the facts, Eric. I received an anonymous fax on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving 2000. I had reviewed R. Kelly's TP2.com. It was the sequel to 12 Play, TP2.com. 12 Play, of course, because an ordinary lover, Eric, might give you 4 Play, but the sexual super freak would do 3 times better. Kelly never hid his proclivities. And I thought it was from a player hater. He's hugely beloved black superstar in Chicago.
Now y'all see the contradictions already. He said he thought the facts came from a player hater. Then in another interview, he say he thought it came from the Nation of Islam. Like this is the inconsistencies, and this is the person who these surviving R.Kelly docuseries writers chose to use as their context to the information that they put out here. This is the guy. He just said he thought it came from a player hater that was, a player hater that was hating on R. Kelly. Then he come out and say he think it came from the Nation of Islam. Like, come on, y'all. Do y'all hear the same bullshit that I'm hearing?
Play, of course, because an ordinary lover, Eric, might give you foreplay, but the sexual super freak would do 3 times better. Kelly never hid his proclivities. And I thought it was from a player hater. He's hugely beloved Black superstar in Chicago. Chicago is a racially divided town. Whenever I wrote about R&B or hip hop, that's not music, that's noise. And this sentence in air quotes had been around since I first arrived in Chicago in 1991. R. Kelly likes them young. And I will admit, I never stopped to think about what that meant. The Aaliyah thing had blown up in 1996. It was out there that they had gotten married. The record company said she was 15, but they were also whispering maybe she's 18, maybe they got married, maybe they didn't. It was successfully covered up, which is hard to believe today. That 2 of the biggest superstars in the music world may have had an illicit, illegal, destructive relationship when she was, we now know in federal court, 14 and 15.
How do you cover up? How do you cover up an illicit relationship that he claimed was a marriage? How do you cover this up?
All of this had been out there. No one had done any real reporting on it. I got that fax, and hey, I threw it in the slush pile, Eric, of press releases I'd never read and hate mail from people telling me I was an idiot as a critic. But I went home on Thanksgiving weekend, and certain things haunted me that said that there had been an active police investigation for a year and a half. It named a lawsuit that had never been reported, filed by an underage girl, which I found hard to believe. How could this have been filed in court? Nobody wrote about it.
Now, that's a question now. Now, this is a question. And I don't know if people have time, because I wanna be able to do this with people. How can I'm gonna ask the question, you all. What's up, Patricia? How can a underage girl file a lawsuit against Mr. Kelly? How can an underage girl file a lawsuit? I'm trying to make sense of it. He say all of this stuff was detailed in a letter. All of this stuff was detailed in a fax letter that he received about Mr. Kelly being sued by an underage female in court, and it was never wrote about, which is a lie. Because how was the lawsuit with this particular underage female never wrote about when it's in the goddamn newspaper article? This was in a newspaper article in Chicago. So how was this lawsuit proclaiming that this underage girl sued R. Kelly in 1996? How was it not wrote about and it's in a goddamn newspaper article? How was it not wrote about and it's in a newspaper article? I'm trying to make sense of this shit, Jim. But see, Jim, you have to make yourself seem more important than law enforcement, as if you did more for these so-called women that was coming to you than law enforcement did. You want to make yourself above the law, Jim. You want to say you was the savior, you was the whistleblower. The law enforcement did nothing. Come on, Jim. But I understand why you're doing what you're doing, but you just lied when you say there was no reports of a lawsuit that means you wasn't even thinking about R. Kelly. If you think it was no reports of a lawsuit filed against Mr. Kelly, and there's clearly a news article that came out about this lawsuit, then you wasn't following Mr. Kelly.
Of press releases I'd never read and hate mail from people telling me I was an idiot as a critic. But I went home on Thanksgiving weekend, and certain things haunted me that said that there had been an active police investigation for a year and a half. It named a lawsuit that had never been reported.
Y'all hear this, man? The man said it named a lawsuit that had never been reported. Does that look like a report to me? That looks like a report. Does this look like a report to you all? Does this look like a report to you all? Doesn't this look like a report? What's going on, Mary? What's up, Lexington? Does this look like a report? I'm just asking the chat family, does this look like a report? This is a newspaper article. But I understand you want to be the one that say you unveil whatever this bullshit you got going on.
Filed by an underage girl, which I found hard to believe. How could this have been filed in court? Nobody wrote about it. It had specific names and dates, and I broke my rule of only going to the office once a week because they wouldn't let me sit around in my sweatpants and blast loud music. I tried to work at home, and I read it carefully. I called the Chicago Police Department switchboard, and there had been a name, a very long Polish name of a sergeant heading the investigation, and I asked for her. And they said, nobody here by that name. And I almost hung up. And I said, wait, is there a similar Polish surname in sex crimes? And the operator sighed and connected me. And Sergeant Chinahuski picked up the phone. I said, I'm Jim DeRogatis from the Sun-Times. I'm calling about your investigation into R.Kelly. And she said, oh, I was wondering how long it would be before someone asked me about that. I can't talk to you, and hung up. And so from the low rent pop music critic desk in the features section next to the wonderful woman, Denise O'Neill, who put the horoscopes and comics together, I went into the city room and talked to the city editor, and he read the letter, and it was anonymous. And he said, look, I'll have Abdin Palish, the courts reporter, check and see if this lawsuit was ever filed. You keep making phone calls in the music world. And we were off and running 6 weeks of the most intense 18-hour day reporting I've ever done. That story runs December 21, 2000, right before Christmas. And Abdin and I thought, this man is finished. The level of detail, the women who had trusted us and talked to us, the lawsuit, documents we got unsealed in Michigan from the Aaliyah settlement. We thought he was finished.
Now, ask yourself this. What documents? He said documents that we got unsealed in Michigan from the Aaliyah settlement. He said documents that we got unsealed from the Aaliyah settlement. Now, who is Jim, and how could Jim get documents unsealed? And who is we? Documents that we got unsealed now from the Aaliyah settlement. Now, he said they got these documents unsealed from the Aaliyah settlement in Michigan. I have yet, maybe I don't have it. Maybe I don't have it in my possession, or, but I'm quite sure in these last 5 years, if there were documents from the Aaliyah settlement in Michigan, that there will be some type of documentations out here that people will have. Now, he's talking about a settlement in Michigan. Now there was an annulment. Now there was a settlement. All these different things. And this guy is talking about him, we. Who are we? I'm telling you all, this dude right here, Jim DeRogatis, this is what you would call a serial stalker, obsession. I mean, and who is he? And it's something to think about. This is something to think about. Why are all of these women that he are pertaining to, how do they know him? A music critic. Now, we have to understand this. How do all of these women that he's talking to, that he's pertaining to, know who he is, a music critic, to be coming to him with stories about themselves and Mr. Kelly? The only way that women who are accusing Mr. Kelly of these sexual assaults would know to come to him is if whomever sent the letter to him is directing these women to go to him with these stories. You got to make this shit make sense, man. You are a fucking music critic. You're not a fucking attorney. You're not a private investigator. You're not a police officer. You're nothing. So all of these women that you are pertaining to that were coming to you with these stories that you are alluding to, how were they directed to come to you to give these stories? Shit that had you like, this the type of shit that had you looking like this, man. Hold on. What? This shit just ain't making sense, man. This shit just not making sense to me. It ain't making sense to me, y'all. I can't be the only one that's not understanding this shit. Who is Jim DeRogatis for all of these women to be coming to him? Bypassing the police, bypassing the hospitals, bypassing attorneys, coming to him with these stories. This is a music critic. You have no credentials or accolades that shows that you are the go-to person for help. I mean, I'm just trying to make it make sense.
Together, I went into the city room and talked to the city editor, and he read the letter, and it was anonymous, and he said, look, I'll have Abden Palish, the courts reporter, check and see if this lawsuit was ever filed. You keep making phone calls in the music world. And we were off and running 6 weeks of the most intense 18-hour day reporting I've ever done. That story runs December 21, 2000. Right before Christmas. And Abden and I thought, this man is finished. The level of detail, the women who had trusted us and talked to us, the lawsuit, documents we got unsealed in Michigan from the Aaliyah settlement. We thought he was finished.
Now he's talking about him and his boss. He's talking about him and his boss. He's not talking about him and the detective from the Cook County police office who was over the investigation. He's talking about him and his boss.
Instead, we were vilified on black radio, 2 white reporters coming after this beloved superstar. And it was really Mary Mitchell, the brilliant African-American columnist, She was 45 when she went back to college to study journalism after raising her 3 children. A true inspiration.
Yeah, you give Abden and Mary a lot of credit too. And
yeah,
I think
it was never just
very,
me.
very good.
Mary kept saying, hey, these reporters are white, so what? He is victimizing your daughters, your sisters, your aunties, your nieces. This has to stop. Black community, wake up. And so that's 2000. It wasn't until February 2002. I was working at home. I had just finished transcribing an interview with Alicia Keys.
Now I want you all to pay close attention to everything that he's about to say. What up with it, Hawk? Pay close attention to everything that this fat ass is about to say.
My phone rings and it says, go to your mailbox. Click.
His phone rings and it says, go to your mailbox. Okay, y'all. We got to keep up. Are y'all keeping up? Y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this shit? I don't think y'all ready for this shit. I don't think y'all ready for this. I don't think y'all ready for this shit. Now, he talks about getting the facts before leaving the office. And the facts was a detailed letter about lawsuits and different things that was going on with Mr. Kelly and him being, the lawsuits against Mr. Kelly. Yet and still, what's going on, new Black Panther? Yet and still, I don't see how a underage girl file a lawsuit in the court of law. I don't understand without the parent being there, or without the parent. For an underage girl to file a lawsuit, that means the parent would have to file the lawsuit for the underage girl. But Jim DeRogatis said the underage girl filed a lawsuit against Mr. Kelly. So, okay, Jim got a bunch of bullshit with him. But here we go.
Pieces. This has to stop. Black community, wake up. And, so that's 2000. It wasn't until February 2002. I was working at home. I had just finished transcribing an interview with Alicia Keys. My phone rings and it says, go to your mailbox. Click. And there was a manila envelope, unmarked, with a VHS tape, unmarked. We had heard about this apparently ongoing sexual abuse by Kelly of a 14-year-old.
Now that's a problem right there. He said we had heard about ongoing abuse with Kelly and his 14-year-old goddaughter. I'm not from Chicago. I want to say that first and foremost. I'm not from Chicago. But Jim is telling us right now is that the allegations was out before the tape came out. Jim is telling us that the allegation was out before the tape was out. Is what he said. What he just said. He said he had heard about all of this before the tape ever came out. He heard about all of this shit before the tape came out. Now, you got to ask yourself, how would somebody have Jim's personal home phone number? He's not it. Now, you just heard him say he's not at work. He's not at work in the office where he was working at Chicago Sun-Times when he received this call. He received this call at home on his personal phone and was told to go to his mailbox. Okay? So now we have two problems here. That we have two things here that we have to look at. First of all, How did this person know your address to make the delivery to your mailbox? And how did they know your phone number to call you personally and tell you to go check your mailbox? Those are questions that I need answers to. I need answers to those two questions right there. Them the first two questions I need answer to.
Pieces. This has to stop. Black community, wake up. And so that's 2000. It wasn't until February 2002. I was working at home. I had just finished transcribing an interview with Alicia Keys. My phone rings and it says, "Go to your mailbox." Click. And there was a manila envelope, unmarked, with a VHS tape, unmarked. We had heard about this apparently ongoing sexual abuse by Kelly of a 14-year-old. Her family had refused to talk to us. And here was 26 minutes and 39 seconds of the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. Kelly victimizing this girl and ultimately urinating in her mouth. "Call me daddy," instructing her what to do. And we thought, once again, this is it. He's finished. But it took 6 months for Chicago authorities to indict him. When they did, it was on very narrow charges of making child pornography and not statutory rape, because the girl, her mother and her father, were in Europe for 6 or 9 months.
Which actually, if I remember correctly, he turned out to be like a bass player on his album.
Yeah,
right?
Guitarist and bassist who had played with Kelly. And the girl's aunt was Sparkle, whom Kelly had recorded and produced, and Sparkle had split from Kelly because of his behavior. When I'd first...
Is this new?
Yeah. Now y'all hear the line?
Yeah.
Now, Jim DeRogatis just said Sparkle split from Mr. Kelly because of Mr. Kelly's behavior, which is a motherfucking lie. We all know that's a lie.
Jim knows the true story. He knows.
We all know that's a lie. And it wasn't no split. R.Kelly told her he wasn't fucking with her no more. She got fired. God damn it.
Yeah, because she wanted to do things her own way.
She wanted to do her own thing.
Try to get more producers for her album, and Kels wasn't going to go for it, so she got mad and quit the industry. But as she talking about, oh, she's doing it because of her niece. No, woman, you did it for yourself.
But this is Jim bullshit. Let's continue to hear what this fool gonna say, man.
Let's hear what the fat fuck gotta say.
So he talks about the family was in Europe, all this. The family gave testimony to the grand jury. So how the fuck they was in Europe?
This is new, right?
This is old.
Oh.
But see, he goes on platforms that he know people aren't going to see this shit. This is an old interview that he did. But I just ran across it and I started listening. And once I started hearing the shit that he was saying, I said, hold on. I got to bring this shit to the front.
Click. And there was a manila envelope, unmarked, with a VHS tape, unmarked. We had heard about this apparently ongoing sexual abuse by Kelly of a 14-year-old. Her family had refused to talk to us. And here was 26 minutes and 39 seconds of the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. Kelly victimizing this girl and ultimately urinating in her mouth. "Call me daddy," instructing her what to do. And we thought, once again, this is it. He's finished. But it took 6 months for Chicago authorities to indict him. When they did, it was on very narrow charges of making child pornography and not statutory rape, because the girl, her mother and her father, were in Europe for 6 or 9 months.
Which actually, if I remember correctly, he turned out to be like a bass player on
Yes.
his album.
Yeah,
right?
guitarist and bassist who had played with Kelly, and the girl's aunt was Sparkle, whom Kelly had recorded and produced, and Sparkle had split from Kelly because of his behavior. When I first called her in 2000 and said, "We are hearing stories of your niece," and she
So that's the problem right there, y'all. That's another problem. He said when we first called her in 2000, this tape came out in 2000. This in 2002.
And he interviewed her in 2002 as well.
He said he called Sparkle. You gotta make this shit make sense. How do these people have your fucking home address to deliver this tape? How do they have your home phone number to call you? And how in the fuck do you know that this is Sparkle's niece on this tape to even call Sparkle?
He wasn't even man. Kels wasn't victimizing nobody, man. Jim just want to get in on the cash train.
You got them these things that you just can't. You can't go past these things without saying, "Hold on. How they get your fucking home address? How they get your home phone number? How did you know it was Sparkle's niece?" But let's keep going. I'm telling y'all, this dude's hell.
The girl's aunt was Sparkle, whom Kelly had recorded and produced, and Sparkle had split from Kelly because of his behavior. When I first called her in 2000 and said, "We are hearing stories of your niece," and she freaked out on me. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. You're talking about one of the loves of my life, my blood. She hung up on me. And now she was calling about this tape. There's a tape on the streets.
He said now she calling about the tape. Now she calling talking about it's a tape on the street, all this shit. But he already inside here and said he didn't already call her 2 years prior to this tape shit coming out.
I had said, "Until we have the tape, there's not much we can do, Stephanie."
Now he said, now listen at this shit. He said he called her about the allegation. Next thing you know, he said she didn't want to talk. He said when he called her, she ain't want to talk about none of this shit. Now all of a sudden she called him. He tell her he can't do nothing unless they had a tape. Now he done got the you hear the bullshit. Bro.
You wonder why he never took the stand.
Man, this shit is crazy, man. Now he reached out to her first because he hearing about her niece. Then she said, "Fuck you, I don't want to talk to you," pretty much. So she called him back down the road. She called him back. Well, she called him back and said she hearing about a tape. He tell her, "Well, I can't do nothing unless we had a tape." Now, this is a fucking music critic now. This is not a police officer. This is not a private investigator. This is not an attorney or none of it. This is a music critic.
You're supposed to be critical of music.
We need the tape unless we can't talk unless we got the tape. You hear me? So let's continue listening to this bullshit, bro. Jim a motherfucker, boy.
Doors, you're talking about one of the loves of my life, my blood. She hung up on me. And now she was calling about this tape. There's a tape on the streets. I had said, "Until we have the tape, there's not much we can do, Stephanie."
So, hold on now. Hold on, Yellow Bees. Now, if she was calling about the tape and he said there's nothing we can do unless we had a tape, is it possible that her ass put the tape in his mailbox? He already that she have his phone number because he called her. Now she got his number. So now, boom, this shit. Now I'm telling you, bro, you keep listening to this shit, it's gonna start to make sense, man.
Yeah.
So he tell her we can't do nothing without the tape. Boom. Now she delivered a tape to him. She delivered a tape to him. Now he has a tape. This shit was all planned and plotted.
Yeah.
It was all planned and plotted.
It was all a setup.
Oh my God, bro.
Kelly because of his behavior. When I first called her in 2000 and said, we are hearing stories of your niece, and she freaked out on me. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. You're talking about one of the loves of my life, my blood. She hung up on me. And now she was calling about this tape. There's a tape on the streets. I had said, until we have the tape, there's not much we can do, Stephanie. And then the tape appears, and I had to watch it with Sparkle, Stephanie Edwards.
Y'all hear that? Look how he said that, man. I know y'all heard. Listen to what he said, man. He said after he told her they can't do nothing without the tape, then the tape appeared. Out of nowhere, the tape appeared. Listen at this shit, bro.
Man, this is.
Listen at the bullshit, man. Man, hold on, bro. Listen to what he say, bro.
And produced, and Sparkle had split from Kelly because of his behavior. When I first called her in 2000 and said, we are hearing stories of your niece, and she freaked out on me. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. You're talking about one of the loves of my life, my blood. She hung up on me. And now she was calling about this tape. There's a tape on the streets. I had said, until we have the tape, there's not much we can do, Stephanie. And then the tape appears. And
how did it appear, though?
Do y'all hear this shit?
How did it appear?
Do y'all hear this shit? There's nothing that we can do without the tape, then the tape magically appears. Come on, man.
Isn't it the same thing they said on Surviving R.Kelly? It just sounds just similar.
Now hold on, because this shit is gonna get good. This shit is gonna get even better, man. Jim, man, I'm telling y'all, man. Man, come on, man. We still not, man. These people are going to a music critic with this information. They not taking the tape. They not taking none of this shit to the police. They going straight to the music critic.
Sure, yeah. He would never give up his sources because he know Barry Hankerson is his source.
Man, listen to this shit, man.
All right.
He know who gave him that motherfucking tape. He told her right then and there on that phone, I can't help you without the tape. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, the tape appears. Well, motherfucker, you just told us who gave you the tape. You just told the world who gave you the goddamn tape, man. It don't take a rocket scientist to put this shit together.
Hey, don't worry, Big Vi. It's all gonna come out eventually.
Man.
Everything. We know this already.
Oh, man. I already listened to this shit once before, so I'm just playing it for y'all to hear this shit. But listen, keep listening, though. Because you spoke on something. You going to catch it when he said.
To confirm that was her niece and that was the time frame. She had worn her hair that way when she was 14. Okay. We had handed the tape to police. He's indicted in July 2002. It took 6 years to go to trial.
Yeah,
now,
I remember that.
You or I are accused of a crime far less than raping a 14-year-old. We're going to be in behind bars.
Didn't he get? I thought he got indicted in May of that year.
Hold on. Let me see. I got it right here. Let's see.
May or June.
In April and May.
Yep.
He got indicted. He got charged. No, he got charged in June for the child abuse video. It was in June 2002. But in May, it was Patrice Jones and Montina Woods. They sued him in April or May of 2002.
This is crazy, man. Poor Kels, man. So wrong.
Y'all see y'all boy Vi, big Vi, man. Y'all probably can't read my chicken scratch, but I got all the charges, all the charges right here.
Oh, I can see it.
I got all the charges, the timelines of charges that this fool talk about. Let's go, man.
In no time at all. This broke every record in Cook County, and the judge, a lousy, in my opinion, biased for the defense jurist, consistently ruled for Kelly at every turn. By the time it got to court,
he had an attorney with a lot of sway.
He had an attorney who self-professed mob attorney, and he had a lot of money. He was at the height of his fame. While he was awaiting trial, the Ignition remix comes out. He'd never.
Kelly, he don't know R. Kelly made a lot of money, but R. Kelly didn't have a lot of money.
They were stealing money from him. Shit.
He made a lot of money, but he didn't have a lot of money. And you see, they like to use this dude, Jim DeRogatis, he liked to call everybody a mob. Barry Hankerson was a mob. Now he's saying that the man attorney his lawyer was a mob, mob lawyer. He liked to refer everything when it comes to Kelly to the mob, as in that's what, and when you think about mob and you think about the mafia, it makes you think about corruption, right? That's the reason why he keep talking about this mob shit.
Yeah. And another thing, when he's saying about the judges and the jury were biased, man, I don't believe that. I believe they did what they were supposed to do. And the fact he didn't like that.
Queen? Yeah. But see, when you lose, you have to make bullshit allegations like that. When you sit here and you sit here and you did all this bogus ass shit, you just sat here and said, I hope people screen record that shit, man. Him saying he reached out to Sparkle because he was hearing about her niece in 2000. And then he went from reaching out to her reaching back out to him, saying she heard us a tape going out. First, you didn't believe him you didn't believe shit he had to say when he called you, but you called him back talking about you hearing about a tape that's circulating. He tells you he can't do nothing unless he have the tape. Then automatic, the next day, all of a sudden, the tape appeared in his mailbox.
My question is, how did he get her number anyway?
My point fucking exactly, man. My point exactly.
Because this shit don't make no sense.
It's a lot of lying going on. And this man is refusing to take the stand. Let's ride.
You shall lie.
Been bigger. And the fact that it was reduced to one girl on one videotape, and neither she nor her parents testified, the jury was convinced.
So they decided not to testify.
They gave testimony to the grand jury
in 2002.
So how the fuck can you sit here and say they didn't testify? It was the prosecution job to bring them on the stand.
And they failed to do so.
And they failed to do so. You can't blame Mr. Kelly if the prosecutor.
But didn't the father testify in the OA trial? No.
I'm not sure. They said he's saying that the parents, they were all gone out of town. But they gave testimony to the grand jury.
And Rashana did too.
They all three did. Child Protective Services and everybody was came out and investigated everything. And then you all get this shit, right?
Even her grandmother said it wasn't her.
Man, if they alleging this shit, when Child Protective Services come in, right? I'm not no damn fool, right? And when Child Protective Services heard that this relationship was going on, and this girl was underage, and Mr. Kelly was an adult, Child Protective Services is going to come and take that child to a hospital, have that child checked to see if anything been going on with this child, inappropriate. And once they conclude that something has been going on inappropriate with this child, therefore they're gonna have to get down to who is doing this. Child Protective Services came out and investigated this shit. But see, they don't want to tell that. They don't want to speak on that. They don't want to talk about that.
Because that'll mess up their whole plot. But I was like, no, man, we gotta keep this shit going, no matter what.
Child Protective Service get a hold to it. It's a tape like that going around. Man, Child Protective Services get a hold to some shit like that. We're gonna come in, we're gonna take the child, we taking the kids up out of here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go see what, if anything's going on with this kid that shouldn't be going on. We talk about a grown ass man in a supposed to be 14-year-old version now. We talk about a grown man in a 14-year-old version.
That is a good question.
Come on, man. They take that little girl to the hospital, bro, man. Come on, bro. They gonna do all of that shit, man. This is a sexual allegation.
But the thing is, Rashana was already active.
Right, mister. I said the same thing. But him running his mouth, what's up with it, Jane? Him running his mouth is just making you just have more and more questions.
And the fact that it was reduced to one girl on one videotape, and neither she nor her parents testified. The jury was convinced it was Kelly, but they didn't hear from the victim, and they were shocked after they acquitted him when they were interviewed, saying, "We never knew there were other victims." There was not a word about Aaliyah.
Who he
there
said
was
was
no damn victims?
Hold on. Who he said the shot was shocked? The parent. Hold on.
Because the parents knew he did.
And the fact that it was reduced to one girl on one videotape, and neither she nor her parents testified. The jury was convinced it was Kelly, but they didn't hear from the victim, and they were shocked after they acquitted him when they were interviewed, saying,
"How?"
He wasn't even there, so how would he know?
Hold on. How is the jury shocked when they the one deliberate? How the fuck is they shocked? The jury does the deliberation to come up with the charge, guilty or not guilty. So how the fuck was they shocked at the results?
That only makes sense. That's some bullshit, man. Man, better stop playing. Jim better stop playing, man.
I'm trying to make sense of this shit the best I can. How is the jury shocked at the outcome of a goddamn trial when they the one that's doing the deliberation? It's their decision would say this person is guilty or not guilty.
How the fuck the parent? How the fuck the jury would be shocked? They the ones that went through the shit, took their time, everything.
Man, Jim, boy, I can't fuck with Jim today, man.
He was convinced it was Kelly, but they didn't hear from the victim, and they were shocked after they acquitted him when they were interviewed, saying, "We never knew there were other victims." There was not a word about Aaliyah. There was not a word about the then documented in civil lawsuits 5 underage victims. There was no sense that Kelly was a predator. Put it in context, Eric. This is the era of Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson having that sex tape stolen from their house. And then they decide to cash in on it and give it an official release. This wasn't that, my friend. This was horrifying. The young girl had the vacant, disembodied look of a rape victim. And she was an automaton being directed by Kelly on videotape.
Man, ain't no goddamn 14-year-old girl that's never been who has never been sexually active with none of this other shit that y'all trying to say. That girl on that tape was more skilled than Cherokee, Pinky, and all these other motherfuckers that Jada Fire, all these other porn stars that you know. That girl had more skills than most grown ass women with 4-5 kids.
I believe Donald Trump got something on all their asses.
Man, look here, bro.
Now to please him, and it was just sickening. That was a true low point, but people say, like, I'm Javert in Les Miserables, but you kept on it. I kept answering my phone, right? When young women come to someone and say, I've been hurt, no one believes me, I'm scared to talk out because he could destroy me, but I've seen what you've reported, I respect you, will you tell my story?
That's the problem right here. That's the problem that I'm having. These women are coming to him talking about they scared. Nobody will listen to me. Will you tell my story? This make sense.
Yeah, you're supposed to be a music critic, man.
Man, I'm trying to see, who are you? Look at you, bro. Look at you. I would feel safe to you, like Paul Blart, Mall Cop. I'm trying to
Paul Blart looking.
Hey, Jim DeRogatis is a riot. He is an absolute riot. How can he speak with so much assertion and certainty that after the jury saw the tape, they knew he was guilty? When you had a forensic expert that couldn't even conclusively say that was him. Really?
You gotta make it make sense. He said that the jury was shocked when they the one to deliberate the charge.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Big Bob. That's what I'm talking about. With the media, the media has they do what they do. They've already distorted. They've killed this man's character. They've degraded his image. So where now it doesn't matter. He's guilty in the eyes of the public. He's guilty by public opinion already, without even seeing no evidence, nothing. You got experts. You got experts that said they couldn't even tell if that was him on the tape.
Right?
Really?
They said the pixels was off. The moles they were missing. There was moles missing on the man on the tape that Mr. Kelly has on his back.
And it looked like it was edited.
They said the tape was most definitely edited. Like, come on, man. Jim, are you serious? But did you hear him say, when he got the tape, he said he had reached out to Sparkles in 2000 because he was hearing about a tape and about allegations with her 14-year-old niece, as he say. He say Sparkles didn't want to hear it. Then he say Sparkles reached out to him and told him that she was hearing something about a tape that was circulating. He say he told her there's nothing he could do without the tape. All of a sudden, a tape appeared in his mailbox.
All I know, them brothers from the nation need to pay that joker a visit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he done lied twice. He said in this video he said he thought it was he thought the facts came from a player hater that was hating on R.Kelly. Then he changed it to the recent video I showed. He said it was he think it came from the Nation of Islam.
What? Make it make sense, people.
He's throwing everybody under the bus, man. But I'm gonna play this a little more because he finna start getting into some other shit, some current shit that took place in 2018. Now watch this shit.
I don't think you're a reporter, but I don't think you're a human being if you don't take that call up. But you kept on it. I kept answering my phone, right? When young women come to someone and say, I've been hurt, no one believes me, I'm scared to talk out because he could destroy me, but I've seen what you've reported, I respect you, will you tell my story? Yeah. I don't think you're a reporter, but I don't think you're a human being if you don't take that call. You or me walking down the street, we see a woman screaming in distress. We're going to do something.
You're going to help.
We're going to do it. We're going to call 911. We're going to blow the police whistle. We're going to.
So why weren't you telling these girls to go to the police then?
If you're a big guy like me or you, maybe you're stupid enough to take after somebody.
You ain't running out to no motherfucking body, Jim. You can cut that lie out.
He ain't really from Chicago.
You ain't ran nowhere but to a goddamn toilet after eating Taco Bell.
All right. You don't sit there and do nothing. And so when I say it was always the women, the courage to trust a fat white rock critic with tattoos of all of his favorite bands up and down his arms. That is bravery, Eric. And the least you can do as a reporter is to tell their stories and to try to do them justice.
Well, Jim, you're not a reporter.
I want to go way back to the time when you actually called the sergeant the first time and she said to you, I was wondering when something was going to happen, and then just hung up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, just think about like if you, people always say like if you could go back and talk to your younger self, if you never stayed on it at that point, Jim, if you never went beyond you getting hung up on, would we have justice today? Because everything that you did was vital.
Well,
to get justice for these young ladies, man.
Can yet Tisha Barnes or Anike Oda.
Now listen to this. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this shit right here. Because when we talk about the surviving R.Kelly, we talk about all this different shit. Now listen to what he about to say here.
Talk to your younger self. If you never stayed on it at that point, Jim, if you never went beyond you getting hung up on, would we have justice today? Because everything that you did was vital.
Well,
to get justice for these young ladies, man.
Can yet Tisha Barnes or Anike Oda of the Mute R.Kelly movement, it launched literally the day after the cult story I published in Buzzfeed in 2017. They say without this work.
Now y'all see where all of this shit derived from. Let them keep talking. Y'all finna see this dude right here literally stalked R. Kelly and preyed on R. Kelly's career. And he's telling you now, he just said it was his article that he put out about the R. Kelly cult in 2017, which sparked the Mute R. Kelly movement. Now listen up.
And this is when you start saying Lisa Van Allen with her lying ass. And that's when you start saying to Rhonda.
Hold on.
Talk to your younger self. If you never stayed on it at that point, Jim, if you never went beyond you getting hung up on, would we have justice today? Because everything that you did was vital.
Well,
to get justice for these young ladies, man.
Can yet Tisha Barnes or Anike Oda of the Mute R. Kelly movement.
So this is the Mute R. Kelly movement he just talked about. There's one entity, the Mute R. Kelly movement.
It launched literally the day after the cult story I published in Buzzfeed in 20.
It launched the day after his cult story that he published in the Buzzfeed.
17. They say without this work, Jim, we wouldn't have done this. We had heard.
They say without his work, Jim, we wouldn't have been able to do this. They say without his work, Jim, specifically, we wouldn't have been able to do this.
Right. It's one vital part you're missing right there, what you just said. That's 2017. Remember, that was when they came for Donald Trump. And shortly after they could not get Donald Trump, they in turn flipped it and went to Rob.
Boy, this shit. Well, I told y'all I listened to this shit, but to hear him gloat on the simple fact that these people praised him for the work that he quote unquote did is investigating R. Kelly for 20 plus years. And
So where's the investigation on he and that crooked ass attorney?
Daryl McDavid. Mm-hmm.
no,
No,
Avenatti,
Susan Logan,
Oh,
Susan Logan, Avenatti.
yeah.
Avenatti, all of them. They were all working together.
Mm-hmm.
Now he finna get into the surviving R. Kelly shit too. Watch this.
The day after the cult story I published in Buzzfeed in 2017, they say, without this work, Jim, we wouldn't have done this. We had heard for years, but we had had enough. Dream Hampton, who was the brilliant part of surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah.
The Lifetime people, different story. But Dream Hampton, the showrunner behind the first season of Surviving R. Kelly, says, without your reporting, we wouldn't have been able to do this. But
just violate all his constitutional rights.
Do you hear this?
Mm-hmm.
All of this shit stems from a fucking article that this dude published about R. Kelly having a cult.
But the question we have, Jim, I know you listening in the bushes. The question we have as people of the community that support the injustice, with support against the injustice of the law, we want to know, why did you not respond to Jennifer Mangine?
Why you pled the fifth? You did all of this groundwork. All of these women came to you. You advocated for all of these women. You gave all of these women a voice. But when it was time for you to stand up for these women, your fat ass chose to sit down.
Not only
you
one.
Sat down, and not only did you sit down, Jim, we know you were in the courtroom with the mask on. Yes, you were. You sat and listened to every detail you listened to everything you needed to listen to until your name was brought up in that courtroom.
Mm-hmm.
You was there bright and early. Did you think people was gonna miss your big lord ass?
Shit crazy, man. This shit right here was very, very, very like, man, to hear him say that these are the words from Dream Hampton, Toronto Burke, the Time's Up, Mute R. Kelly people.
Well, you already know who's paying them.
Praise
but you did this. You strategically did this. You know you did not. That case was bogus in 2008. It was bogus in 2019 all the way till this man was tried and convicted and sentenced. It's still been bogus. Because even when they showed the tape, see where you got contradictions from me. Girlfriend said that she was violated. First of all, she said she needs to see the tape. Why you need to see a tape that you already know you own? If you know you on a tape, why do I have to keep showing you this tape over and over again? You say you was a virgin at 14. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You say you was a virgin at 15, but he violated you at 14. So we want to know which is which.
Gotta make it mine up.
But we also know you wasn't the right person on the stand. That's why you didn't know how old you were. But Robert now one time came out and made himself look like he did not know what the hell was going on. And also to make the story clear, Robert was only trying to get one tape. And that was the tape of he and his wife, his children's mama,
Agreed.
and Lisa Van Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And now Dre out here still trying to cash it in. Where a man look himself.
Let me go. Let me listen to see what else this fuck got to say.
About like
What you call it,
if
baby?
you know,
You
people
call
always
it?
say like if you could go back and talk to your younger self,
Mhm.
if you never stayed on it at that point, Jim, if you never went beyond you getting hung up on, would we have justice today? Because everything that you did was vital
Well,
to getting justice for these young ladies, man.
you know, Kenyette Tisha Barnes or Enike Odele of the Mute R. Kelly movement, it launched literally the day after the cult story I published in BuzzFeed in 2017. They say, without this work, Jim, we wouldn't have done this. We had heard for years, but we had had enough. Dream Hampton, who was the brilliant part of surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah.
The Lifetime people, different story. But Dream Hampton, the showrunner behind the first season of Surviving R. Kelly, says, without your reporting, we wouldn't have been able to do this. But I mean, mostly it was the women, you know, and we always felt, Abden and me and Mary, that we were late to this story at the end of 2000 because victim number one, Tiffany Hawkins, was 1991.
Right.
Aaliyah was 1995 and 1996. I always felt guilty that we hadn't gotten there sooner.
So all these things.
Hold on.
When did Aaliyah say she was violated?
Exactly.
You talking about Tiffany Hawkins?
He never said not a bad thing about him.
Who the hell is Tiffany Hawkins?
You know Tiffany Hawkins, the one that that she Rob. She tried to put a baby on Rob, and it ended up being Demetrius Smith.
So about this Tiffany Hawkins.
That's just my baby daddy. Who that is? My baby daddy. Who that is? My baby daddy. My baby daddy. My baby daddy. Who that is? 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 My baby daddy. Why every time I call, it's the same thing. You got to be on the phone with
I seen that earlier. I've seen it earlier, Big Vibe.
Tiffany Hawkins.
Who is this chocolate dude right here?
An ass kisser.
I don't know who this dude is. I don't know who this dude is.
Talk to him. We need to have a conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who he is.
A respectful conversation.
Yeah, man. That was the 94, right? He talking about Lil was 95, 96. That was 94.
Man, by the time 96, she came out with one in the
In
middle.
96, Lil was deceased, wasn't she?
Nah, she died in 2001. Was it?
2001.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had from I'm gonna say 90 whatever to 2001 to get whatever story you needed to get. Aaliyah was suing Cook County
In 97.
Man, this dude full of shit, man. I'm gonna show y'all. I showed y'all the other day just the biasness of him. When you get towards the end of this video, this black dude gonna ask him something. And he asked him about the Jerry Lee Lewis and the Elvis situation. And this fool gonna say, well, they didn't. That was a marriage that went on for years. They didn't have 60 different women. Like he justified the situation with Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis as if it was cool, but because of, you know what I'm saying, it's the same shit that I'm seeing here right now. Today I was gonna come on and do a live today talking about the hypocrisy with Russell Simmons' daughter dating this 65-year-old man, and everybody saying, oh, she getting the bag. That's what's up. She got a sugar daddy. But when Shaq is dating this goddamn 21-year-old woman, oh, that's all fucked up, Shaq. That girl the same age as your kids. You see the bullshit in the game?
Yeah.
It's so much bullshit in the game out here, man. But let's finish listening to this fat ass fuck right quick.
things are happening around, and these are court documents, and then settlements going out, and there was actually an attorney that was actually in Chicago, and everyone said, if you want money, you go to this attorney, and she'll get you a settlement. But what was the music industry saying? I mean, like the labels. I mean, how could they say, you know, like there has to be some kind of morality to say, you know, hey, you're a big artist, and we need to know if these things are true, or, you know, what's happening, or we can't have you on the label.
You didn't just say morality and music industry in the same sentence, did you, Eric? Look, Jive Records is started by a South African man in London, Clive Calder, and it is run by a Jewish fellow in New York, Barry Weiss. They were well aware of the hush money settlements being paid to underage women. They were well aware of the.
How can you pay settlements to underage women? How can an underage be a woman? Underage women. When you say women, are you thinking underage? When you say women, that means grown women. I hear grown women, you know, or a grown woman. You say underage, you talk about girl, you know. But this dude right here, even him saying that R.Kelly was being sued by underage, like women, it just don't even make sense. How can an underage woman sue somebody?
That's, man, it's just sad, man.
It's just a question.
It's sad.
Leah, statutory rape. There was money to be made, and they weren't going to derail the gravy train. The music industry is complicit, from the lowliest tape operator and studio gopher to Clive Calder and Barry Weiss at the top of Jive Records. They knew about this behavior for decades. They turned a blind eye. As long as money was being made, Kelly sold 100 million records, about 70 million of his own. And then let's tack on the artists he produced, everyone from Whitney Houston and Celine Dion to Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I remember asking people who were in Chicago Recording Company, what was the conversation like between those two? Kelly wrote You Are Not Alone about Aaliyah, but
you hear
Jackson makes it.
No. That's
you
a damn lie.
Do you hear the bullshit? I thought age ain't nothing but a number.
Man, he did not write about Aaliyah, man. He was just putting Michael Jackson back on the map. Because MJ was going through those allegations. Come on, man. Man, stick to being a music critic and not worry about it. Yeah.
Man, you hear this line?
I know this fat fuck cannot still be living in Chicago. If he is, something is definitely wrong with Chicago now.
Boy, you say the man wrote the song. He said R.Kelly wrote the song for Aaliyah. Now listen. Now listen now. It's Michael Jackson's song, You're Not Alone, about a dead person. It says no. It said it is a love song that he basically dedicates to his then wife, Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah.
Now, Jim DeRogatis, let me stop you right quick.
Invite him over, Vi. Tell his fat ass to come over here.
I got it. Let me see. How do I fucking do this shit? Because I need to zoom.
Request a live with his fat ass.
The dude full of shit, man.
That mother.
Yeah, because you know DeRogatis works for the left, so.
Now hold on. Let's do this shit. Let's go back and hear what he had to say. Let's go back and hear what he had to say. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit. Hit a lie. Let's hit a lie.
They weren't going to derail the gravy train. The music industry is complicit, from the lowliest tape operator and studio gopher to Clive Calder and Barry Weiss at the top of Jive Records. They knew about this behavior for decades. They turned a blind eye. As long as money was being made, Kelly sold 100 million records, about 70 million. And then let's tack on the artists he produced, everyone from Whitney Houston and Celine Dion to Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Oh, yeah. I remember asking people who were in Chicago Recording Company, what was the conversation like between those two? Kelly wrote You Are Not Alone about Aaliyah.
Ha! Hold on now. Now, for the people in the chat, hold on.
I'm gonna say this right now. Once Robert get out, all hell's gonna break loose.
Now, do y'all see this? Now, do y'all see who Michael Jackson dedicated this song to?
Lisa Marie Presley. But Lizette talking about he was dedicated to her because she lost her child. Please.
Do y'all hear this? Do y'all see this shit? One thing about this shit, bro, when they fuck with Big Vibe, man, one thing Big Vibe gonna do, Big Vibe is gonna bring y'all some goddamn content, man. Now, this is Jim DeRogatis, who just told y'all how Mute R.Kelly and Surviving R.Kelly was thanking him for his work.
His strategic work of violating this man's First Amendment rights.
And his due process at the same
And his due process.
And did not have a fair trial.
No, before we get to the trial, not being able to have a bond.
No criminal background.
Man. Why would you say that this man wrote You Are Not Alone for Aaliyah, Jim DeRogatis? That's the greatest. Now, I thought I heard you say bullshit out your mouth. But for you to sit here and say that You Are Not Alone was wrote about Aaliyah? Are you serious?
Can somebody in their chat at Jim DeRogatis to bring his fat ass over here?
Jim ain't welcome over here. I'm just sorry.
Let him we cuss his ass out cuss his ass out. You the only one can give him that good cussing.
I'm gonna put up some weight loss pills. His ass gonna pass out. Oh, Jim.
He gonna pass out anyway because God gonna snatch him out.
But Jackson makes it a hit, and it spoke to both of the accusations.
You ain't finna take nothing away from R.Kelly. Because motherfucking Michael Jackson didn't make the motherfucking song a hit. Michael Jackson went to R.Kelly for a hit.
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Not taking nothing away from Mike, but you ain't finna take nothing away from Kels.
And Mike, he gave the credit to where the credit was due.
Because remember, MJ was going through those allegations too. In
Jim
93.
DeRogatis, you out of your motherfucking mind. Go talk about Michael Jackson made the song a hit. Motherfucker, do you not know that it's R. Kelly even on the original song sang background vocals with Michael Jackson? Then he redid the song on Love Letter as a tribute to Michael Jackson.
Yes, sir. I remember that tribute. And that was his friend
Michael
too.
Jackson made
So
the song.
you took your dumb ass all the way back because y'all couldn't win in 2008 and y'all concocted up some bullshit.
Because the government didn't like it. They couldn't handle the fact he won.
You better hope your ass got a job when Donald Trump getting back in his office.
Woo! Say that again.
Hold on, man. Dude, I'm talking about Michael Jackson made You Are Not Alone a hit. Man, this motherfucker lost his mind.
He put Michael back on the map.
He put Mike back on the map with the song. But then they gonna say, man, man. Man, you see the type of shit that this dude is a music critic, though. He's a music critic who's supposed to know all of this. You can't make this shit make sense.
No, he's a racist critic.
Man, we got 77 likes, y'all. Let's get this chat up to 100 likes, y'all. Let's keep on rolling, man.
Being paid to underage women. They were well aware of the Aaliyah statutory rape. There was money to be made, and they weren't going to derail the gravy train. The music industry is complicit. From the lowliest tape operator and studio gopher to Clive Calder and Barry Weiss at the top of Jive Records. They knew about this behavior for decades. They turned a blind eye. As long as money was being made, Kelly sold 100 million records, about 70 million of his own. And then let's tack on the artists he produced, everyone from Whitney Houston and Celine Dion to Justin Bieber and Lady Gaga.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I remember asking people who were in Chicago Recording Company, what was the conversation like between those two?
None of your business.
Kelly wrote You Are Not Alone about Aaliyah, but Jackson makes it a hit, and it spoke to both of the accusations against both of those men. Really, in retrospect. But Kelly never made a secret. What was the title of the album he wrote and produced for Aaliyah?
He didn't write and produce this fucking album for Aaliyah, man. Her fucking uncle, Aaliyah, they had control of the album, the title, the songs they got put on the album. R.Kelly just a producer, man.
And a writer.
He's produced, he's right, but anything as far as the album go, there was shit that that was done by the goddamn music. Everybody knows the music industry controls what goes on the album. The album, they have to verify the album titles. Everything has to be checked off by the label.
For the age ain't nothing but a number. That song was written way before Rob even knew of an Aaliyah.
They don't want to talk about that.
Exactly, EJ. Exactly. On the Queen.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
It was there.
But when you hear people like Pretty Ricky got songs out called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. So many different people got songs out talking about age ain't nothing but a number. But just because R.Kelly is producing the album, the age ain't nothing but a number. Oh, it directly ties to him. Man, fuck that.
A very Dostoevsky Crime and Punishment way. He was announcing his crimes, and perhaps, if you want to play armchair psychiatrist, something I always resist, perhaps saying, catch me if you can, stop me if you will. To be clear, the many, many, many young women who trusted me with their stories, they never said, I hate the SOB, lock them away for life. They always said, brother has a problem. Brother needs help. Brother's got to stop.
That's quoted in your book, too.
Again and again, Eric, I heard those words more than any other, and the other sentence I heard more of. Now, I do not speak for Black women.
But you can't tell me that you didn't. How all of these women coming to you telling you that somebody have a problem, if somebody need help, somebody got to stop. That wouldn't be a fucking red flag to you. I sit here, imagine if every woman I dated, I said, and I talked to, if you just like the last woman, you do everything like the last. Like if I just saw every person that you encounter in life, you're not gonna be the exact same way with. So if all of these so-called women coming to him with these stories and all of them are saying the same thing, that sounds like a fucking rehearsal, not a goddamn situation or actual relationship.
Nephew, I have a question.
It doesn't work that way. Universally, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, not saying that a man can't be an asshole to a female, but if he might be an asshole to this female, but he might be soft as hell to the next female. He may be, he may be vocal with this female. He may not say shit with that female. It's never gonna be the same goddamn demeanor throughout different relationships. You're dealing with different personalities. You're dealing with different type of energy. You're dealing with everything. Every individual person carries something individually unique about themselves. So you can't deal with them all the same. You're not going to deal with them all the same. Imagine if he just sat here and said, that's the bullshit theory. Like all men the same. If all men the same, then what hope would that give a woman?
None.
Not one.
If all women are the same, what hope would that give a man? Especially
none.
A man that has been heartbroken by a woman, he may never want to look at another woman. Vice versa. But for you not to have a question when you say, damn, all of these women coming, and all of these women are saying the same thing, nah, that's a problem.
And I have a question, and I'm sorry, Miss Nisi, why he ain't never talk about those text messages?
But this is old. This is
I'm
old.
now.
Well, now ain't nobody gonna talk about the text message. What's up, fine fella? Ain't nobody gonna talk about the mess. What media outlet have you heard talk about anything positive regarding R.Kelly besides these YouTube people that's over here that's keeping his name alive, that's supporting him and standing up for him? You're not gonna hear none of that shit on the media. You sat here and watched the fucking interview with Gayle King where this woman interrogated this man.
And got a pay increase and a job increase.
Yep.
But the question that I have, he said these women, none of these women said they wanted Rob to go to jail or they felt like he needed to be in jail. They just said he got a problem. Why didn't y'all seek Rob out for help to see if Rob really had a problem?
Exactly.
Y'all didn't seek him to go get the help that y'all said he needed. The only help y'all thought he needed was for y'all to do civil suits, fat ass. Y'all got as much money as y'all possibly could until Rob decided to go to the bank for the first time and realized he was broke. And the only reason why he did that was because shit wasn't smelling right. And remember, Rob was the one who said, take it to trial. You didn't, fat fuck.
Nah, Jim DeRogatis, he just have an obsession and wanting to be a part of something. And it made him feel like he was a part of something when it came to the Mute R.Kelly campaign, when it came to the Dream Hampton and surviving R.Kelly. You could tell it was about that because simply, like it makes no sense. Like you are a music critic. So how are these? How many black people read a goddamn magazine, news article, or news? I mean, these young girls. Now these are supposed to be young underage women. He say, and how many of them is reading a BuzzFeed article? to know.
But why would they feel the need to go to him?
I'm trying to get somewhere with the question that I'm asking. How would they know him? The only way they would know him is if they's getting these Buzzfeed articles, reading these articles that are talking about Mr. Kelly.
They're saying go to him first.
14, do you think 14, 15-year-old girls, 16-year-old girls are getting these articles and reading these articles, finding out who he is? No, they are not. They are being directed to go to him.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, because you have to go back earlier. What's up, Sher? What up, Malik? If you go back earlier when he said about he reached out to Sparkle because he was hearing allegations about her niece. How did he know that was her niece?
Exactly.
R.Kelly. He said Sparkle hung up on him. Then he said she ended up reaching back out to him, saying that she's hearing that there's a tape circulating.
Okay, everybody hearing.
So he tells her, well, I can't help you unless I have the tape. He said all of a sudden the tape appeared in his mailbox.
And this is the same person that that they had to go get her ass out to come back to court. Y'all better make the shit make sense.
Oh yeah, because Lisa was telling a lot of lies on that stand.
Hold on, y'all. Let's go, man.
I am merely amplifying what dozens have told me. I was a young black girl who was going to believe me. They don't count in our system. And wiser men than me have said that.
So how the fuck, and you know what? You just said something. Young black girls don't count in our system. And I'll show you how they don't count in our system. And why they don't count in our system. I fucking took it off of here. I'm going to show you why young black girls don't count in our system. Let me see if I can.
Thank you, baby. Go on, baby. I know where you about to go. Take it right there.
Yeah, but it was all about
young black girls don't count in our system. This is why we say young black girls don't count in our system.
Mm.
You were lying when you said that. Unless the abuser is a black man and happened to be famous.
And baby, don't forget the one that you did initially, the black girl that was in the house that we never would have heard about.
Yeah, this right. Chicago still didn't report about this. But you got Florence DJ Jason Pope plead guilty to multiple charges involving minors. How about minors that were black minors? They were black. Not only did he say he had sex with over 690 with 693 young black women, he also infected these women
with HIV.
Some of these women with HIV. And you know what the judge did? Look what the judge did. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Lord, the sentence.
Hold on, let me see if I can get that up there big. I need to get that big. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison, and the judge suspended Pope's 30-year sentence to 19 years. Now, there's 693 women, even infected some with HIV.
And they died.
And they reduced his 30-year sentence to 19-year sentence, and he only have to do 5 years
5
on
years.
the 19 years, and he'll be out on supervised release.
And let's not forget about he was a boy. He's a black boy. You didn't do no story on the woman that lied on Emmett Till. But your fat ass did a story on our Dr. Cosby. You trying to get Diddy locked the hell up. You big fat bastard.
It's the bullshit that keep going, man. It's the bullshit that keeps on going.
I don't know how he still got that job to this day.
He better pray to God that he found something else by the time Donald Trump get in that office, because I'm sending this to, I promise y'all, oh my God, I'm sending it to him.
It's about that time anyway.
We get on here, man. I mean, this is crazy. Well, let's continue with his bullshit that he has concocted.
This perhaps saying, catch me if you can, stop me if you will. To be clear, the many young women.
And y'all know why he say that statement. See, all this reverts back to the video that they had circulating around saying that R.Kelly was acting like he was above the law when he say,
yes.
He say it's too late. He said, I done already injected the world with my music. I done did 30 years. And they say, oh, he's bragging about getting away. He bragging about doing this, that, and that to these women and getting away with it. That man wasn't bragging about getting away with doing shit to no woman.
Because he ain't did shit.
The man was just having a conversation saying that, they fucking with me. They done gave me 30 years and now they trying to take me out the game. He said what he was saying, if y'all didn't want my voice to be a voice in the music industry, y'all should have never allowed me in it.
Because he has affected their dumb asses. Everybody. You're going to have to mute the whole music industry. If you want to mute Rob, you got to mute everybody.
And songs
he's in your veins now. He's in your soul. He's in your spirit.
And I'll say this: maybe the music that some of these R&B artists got right now, they're probably using his music that they take it from him while he in there.
Well, he got some artists just. I heard young artists a couple weeks ago. This one dude, he got a lot of samples. Like a lot of R.Kelly samples as beats on his songs. It's an artist out there. I'm gonna have to look him up again. But a lot of his music is a lot of R.Kelly beats that's been.
But about that Jennifer did say, and I hope people caught what she said. It's a whole lot of more lawsuits coming.
Oh, Jim get it. Jim got it coming. He brag about not being his work and everything being used and nothing really happening to him. So I'm gonna go through this. We've been on here for about an hour and 48. What's up, Pearl? About an hour and 48 minutes, and I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. And I'm going to go to the part, I'm going to speed up to where I told y'all to do this bias, man. And this is why nobody should listen to him or even take him serious, because he's going to show you the outright biasness in his reporting as we continue.
Who trusted me with their stories. They never said, I hate the SOB. Lock him away for life. They always said, brother has a problem. Brother needs help. Brother's got to stop.
That's quoted in your book too.
Again and again.
And why would these women? That's something that just stuck out to me. I heard it when he was saying it the first time. And then he just said it again. Why would they be saying brother? Brother,
Because
sick.
he wasn't sleeping with him.
Brother got a problem. Brother need help. Why would they be saying brother? Well,
Again, Eric, I heard those words more than any other, and the other sentence I heard more of. Now, I do not speak for Black women. I am merely amplifying what dozens have told me. I was a young Black girl who was going to believe me. They don't count in our system. And wiser men than me have said that. Malcolm X, and many others. Young Black girls, we don't believe women in general. And even despite the FBI statistics, only 40%.
don't say we don't believe women, because anytime a white woman say a Black man done something, his ass was gone. So don't make it seem like that. I'm telling you, it's a racial thing, and they want to overlook it. But don't make this shit about, it's just a Black. No, y'all only care about Black women when it pertains to entertainers that they supposed to be going after. Because when you just sit here and look at this shit, DJ Kid, man, like 693 Black women, and this man only get 30 years, and he infected these women with some of them with HIV. And then y'all reduce his sentence from 30 years to 19 years, and you want to say, okay.
I have a question. Didn't every last one of these women that testified in the court of law say Rob made them call him what?
Daddy.
So why would these women go to him and call Rob brother?
Yeah, right. Make it make sense. You can't. It can't, man.
They're acting like that.
Of sexual assaults are ever reported to the criminal justice system, which I say in quotes because we know the problems, right?
Yeah, and even probably a lot less among African American women.
And even less among African American women. And the FBI, not a liberal organization, says that of the 40% reported, less than 1% turn out to be false accusations.
Wow.
So if you factor in,
that's a discouragement in itself.
That's a discouragement. This is not a plague of women making false accusations against men. And what I have been saying since the sentencing, we didn't believe Anita Hill when she went to Capitol Hill with very credible accusations of sexual harassment.
Wow, y'all know this dude is Democratic Party.
2 decades later.
Exactly.
Now you know this bastard is the far left.
When she went to Capitol Hill with very credible accusations of rape. And now those two men who sit on the Supreme Court help take away a woman's right to control her own body.
Wow.
This is a bigger story. Now, the Kelly story is plenty big in itself. As a pop music lover and critic and historian, men have been treating women badly in popular music since the era of the Bobby Soxers until last week. But no one, we have to take a breath because I don't think this has sunk into people. No one in the history of popular music, name your favorite villain, has ever been convicted of the breadth and depth of crimes as Robert Sylvester Kelly. And that was in the first federal trial. There's the second is going to start in.
Now y'all see, making an example, huh? No one has ever.
Chicago,
which is what they're trying to do now with the president
to borrow one of his song titles, to which I would only append predator, abuser.
Wow. So, you brought up the album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number that he did. Do you feel like a lot of the things that he was doing, he was hiding, and not even hiding in his lyrics, that he was just putting it out there?
I'm always haunted by something that his half-brother, Killer Kelly, told.
And that's
not his half-brother.
This is something that I don't. This is something that I wanted to personally have a conversation with Kerry about, because these people took his words and the things that he said, and they used it in a way that fits their narrative.
Well,
Come on,
I'm
man,
going to
mute
say
that
this
mic.
here, Vi, because I've talked to Kerry, and I'm going to speak on his behalf, but I'm going to still let him tell his story. Kerry said he was told something, and he was at a very bad place. The reason why he said the crap that he said about his brother, but the crap that he did say was a full-blown lie.
Yep. I do remember him saying that.
And
Let's
they
see what
know
he
it's a
gonna
lie.
say. Let's see what he got to say about what Kerry said. But this fallout ass, I can't stand Jim, bro.
Abuser.
Wow. So, you know, you brought up the album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number that he did. Do you feel like a lot of the things that he was doing, he was hiding, and not even hiding in his lyrics, that he was just putting it out there?
I'm always haunted by something that his half-brother, Killer Kelly, told me. He said, and this was towards the end of reporting for the book,
5 more likes, y'all. We get to 100. 5 more likes.
that sick MFer is talking to other sick MFers who are on his level. Now, I understand the power of music. If I Believe I Can Fly played at your kid's kindergarten graduation. And
my 5-year-old sings it today.
And Step in the Name of Love was your wedding song. And Ignition Remix was the party jam of every backyard barbecue you ever went to. That music in some ways is yours as much as it is his. I understand that. And we can have a philosophical discussion about separating the art and the artist. But Kelly consistently in the vast body of his work was championing an unfettered vision of hedonism that said, I will take my pleasure where I desire with no regard for who I hurt. All right. And if you listen again with fresh ears and think about that, he never made a secret. You know, famously after the acquittal in 2008, he does an interview with Touré. Touré asks,
now listen at this. Listen to how he tried to twist this bullshit around.
him, you know, do you like young girls? And he takes a serious moment and he says, how young we talking? Right? You know.
And he meant exactly what he said, damn it.
Like I just said, 18. Some people are calling them, that's a young girl. 18 could be a young woman. 18 could be a young lady. Whatever y'all choose to call them. But y'all sit around and ask this man questions, and when he give articulate answers, you all still trying to find a way to hold on. You hear what he said? Why would he repeat the question? Like, come on, man, with the bullshit, bro. That's why
so let's go back to our foreparents. We know when we were of age, when we started our cycles, women, once we started our cycles, we were considered a woman.
Right, but we understand what they trying to do. I
know what they're trying to do, but what you're not going to do is play that game. You're not going to play that game.
No. And when that man said, I like all women, you know, 18, long as they 18 or older, you know, they don't talk about that part. They just talk about him re-asking the question, how young are we talking?
Hey, like he said on the Bumper Grind remix, show me some ID before I get knee deep.
Yeah. The man on the stage, you got to be, if you want to come, who want to come home with me tonight? All you got to do is be 18.
I mean, he didn't make a secret of this. It's just that those black girls didn't matter to anyone.
Oh, shut up, Jim.
And
why are you?
They don't even matter. They don't even matter to your fat ass, because when they ask you to come up and speak on the behalf of them black girls that you talking about,
you died.
You took the fifth. Because you knew Jennifer was going to dig into your ass, and it was going to be an automatic where your attorney that you was getting money from, y'all was doing a hit, miss, making sure y'all was stamping Robert's name on shit that Robert hadn't even signed off on.
People say, what how did you maintain? Well, first of all, I just answered the phone. I was always here. I never twisted anyone's arm to talk. In some cases, it took them 9 months to decide to go on the record or to speak to me at all. In some cases, it took 5 years. Geronda Pace, who was the first witness who testified in Brooklyn. I had a picture. Abden and I went to Kenwood Academy, which is one of the most prestigious public high schools.
Hold on. What's up, Q? What's up, Q, man? It's been a minute. I agree with you, Deanne Ward. I agree. Totally. I agree with that totally. What's up with it, Q? Q, man, come holler at us, man. It's been a minute, Q. I want to ask you something. I most definitely would like to ask you something, Q. As in regards to Harvey Weinstein, conviction retrial and the R.Kelly retrial.
Vi, I have a question regarding this fat bastard here. What he is actually saying, he said Geronda Pace took the stand first in the trial in New York. Okay, Geronda did take the stand. And when she took the stand, she lied and she lied and she lied and kept on lying. But remember, that was but remember, that was a picture that everybody talks about. Remember that picture when she was following Rob during his 2008 trial?
Everybody talk about that. Why was he specifically taking pictures of her?
Of her.
Why was she in so many pictures during the 2008 trial?
Even in the courtroom.
Every picture she had, every picture of her during the 2008 trial, besides one picture that showed her and her mama walking to the trial. But every other picture, every time R. Kelly was leaving the court, she somehow was in the picture.
No, remember, that was her sister. That was her sister, because her sister was the one that came out and said they done cut her away from the family. Say she's been lying and been obsessed with this man, and they said she did not.
Pictures, a lot of pictures I seen with the white pants on, with the fucking wig or whatever, looked like a wig on her head. That was Geronda Pace on a lot of them pictures. I don't know who the woman was. I don't know.
The woman was her sister.
Oh, that was her sister. Okay, well, the picture with Geronda Pace, I know I seen every picture with Mr. Kelly leaving out the court. Most of the pictures that I seen Geronda on had R. Kelly on. She's standing there with a newspaper in her hand.
Exactly. And he looking like, what the fuck are you following me for?
Well, the fuck this fat fucker, boy. I'm going to show y'all the biasness in here before I get out, though.
Schools in Chicago. Kelly attended it. Didn't graduate because by his own admission, he cannot read. We pulled the yearbook. We saw the picture of some of his victims, the one in particular, Tiffany, with braces.
Tiffany wasn't no fucking victim of R. Kelly, man. You keep with the bullshit.
On a volleyball player. This was not a bitch, a hoe.
Oh, yes, she was. Yes, she was. You can say what you want to say.
Straight, baby, it ain't even undercover.
You can say what you want to say, but you can't refrain from goddamn.
That's just my baby daddy. Who that is? 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 My baby daddy.
Every time I call, it's the same thing. You got to be on the phone with
Boy, look here.
Jesus Christ. Who's your friend? Oh, do you find me sexy? Oh, look at my titties. Oh, my titties!
wants our daughter, man. You know, yours, mine, right? You know, the skin color is irrelevant. It's a 15-year-old, you know, and you know, I mean, that was the motivation. Realizing.
Did he say 15? Did he just say 15?
To the people he hurt. You know, are they all perfect? No, a lot of them were screwed up kids who made mistakes, who thought he really loves me. He's going to make me a star like he made Aaliyah a star, right?
They believed it. And
they believed it. They believed.
You know, at the time there was no YouTube or Instagram to get them famous. So, you know, if they felt they had a connection, they felt like this is what they had to do or go through it, right?
Well, and kids do dumb things. Who hasn't bought booze underage? Who hasn't been seen by the cops smoking weed in the park? I mean, that's what 15-year-olds do, for God's sake.
But, you know, why? So at that point, why did they, when I say they, the police department, you know, because some of this could have been nipped in the bud, and a lot of people we could have stopped a lot of the hurt earlier on if people would just listen. Well, so why is it that they hang up and they just didn't do anything else from that point?
No, the sex crimes investigators were diligent. You know, it is easy to paint the Chicago Police Department, who, let us not forget, shot Laquan McDonald 16 times in the back walking away. All right. It is easy to paint them with one brush. The white investigators on that squad knew that what he was doing and tried to stop it. But there's a complex system.
Y'all see how he
Hold on.
Y'all see how he started blaming the black? He blamed the black.
Hold on. Dude, did you just say what I think you said?
He started blaming the black people. Say the white people tried to do something about R.Kelly, but the black people.
Ooh, baby, he just slapped that dude right there that he talking to in the face.
You see how the dude looking like, what the fuck? Are you really? Like, look at the dude's face expression. Why?
In Chicago, the courts failed these black girls. The schools failed these black girls. Where's the principle of
what? Hold on. Now everybody failed these black girls, but they motherfucking parents. Everybody failed these black girls, but they parents. Why aren't the parents being blamed for any of this shit that they allege went on? We got Q Nundrum on here right quick, man. What's up? Q, man. What's up, Q?
What's good with you, brother? How you been?
Man, I've been blessed, my brother. How about yourself, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Better than I deserve, man. I've been kind of off grid, kind of working on some things, but other than that, I'm still here by the grace of God.
Oh, man, by the grace of God, man. That's it. That's all. We can't complain because what that's going to do.
I don't want to talk to anybody that's complaining.
Salute, man. As you've seen lately, previously, the Weinstein conviction, you know, came down from the appellate court, and they reversed they reversed his sentence, his guilty verdict, you know, and some of the basis of them reversing the guilty verdict was prejudice from the uncharged, like the bad act witnesses, uncharged acts, different things like that.
It's pretty much the same thing with R.Kelly as we discussed before. We kind of went into the legal realm of it the last time that we discussed it fully. There's a terminology called mens rea, which is a legal terminology, and it's, you know, basically you're trying to prove a state of mind defense offense. What's the date on the video of this guy with the bad haircut?
let me see, because it was from a few years back, and it's crazy that he go on these channels.
Was this before or after the conviction?
That was before.
I'm gonna see right now because the Chicago trial hadn't even
started.
Hadn't started yet. So this was from 1 year ago.
Okay. So let's say that it started, that this video happened before, or the video happened immediately after. If you listen to some of the dialogue, this is one of the main reasons why when the Supreme Court actually fully dive into this, it'll be overturned. Primarily because he's discussing past bad acts.
Right.
He's not on trial for past bad acts. If Mike Tyson goes to jail right now for punching somebody in the eye, they're not going to want to discuss the altercation he went to prison for, unless it's involved in sentencing, not during the actual prosecution of it. It can be considered during sentencing, but not during the actual imposition of institution of law. So you can consider it, you know, as a person who may have a propensity for either violence or propensity to commit a crime. But while the actual trial is going on, or considering it for the purposes of prosecution, it's void on its face.
So you saying that's at the Supreme Court level?
Oh, yeah. I said a long time ago that this will have to go before it'll have to be fought in appeal.
Okay.
When they hear him say Jim DeRogatis, he said out of his mouth, he said there were 22 women, 22 people who gave testimony against Mr. Kelly during trial, but we all know he was only being charged for he was only being tried for 7 women.
Wait. 22 in the current trial or in the 2008 trial?
In the 2009, the recent New York trial that she's appealing right now.
But it wasn't no 22 women.
But he said it was 22 people who testified. Well, it was over 40 people that testified, period. But he said it was some women, some of the people that testified was just like employees, this, that, and third. But it was out of the 40-something that testified, he said 22 of them was testifying to like sexual acts and different things that went on. With
that's okay. So Big Vibe, we've discussed this before. This is what's called victim Olympics. Everybody wants to say how much they were abused more than the next person, and it doesn't matter if one person say, "Well, he pulled my hair," the next person has to say something a little bit more egregious than that, just to draw the attention to herself. It's called victim Olympics. It happens all the time, and I'm very shocked and appalled that, you know, as a member of the bar, that any court would allow this to even take place.
Thank you. That's what I said.
And it goes strategically toward past bad acts. So, in a nutshell, I'm gonna tell you what Harvey Weinstein's case has in common with R. Kelly. What's the guy name out in Atlanta? Nature Boy has in common with R. Kelly. These cases, they want to present the ideology that these women were being held under mental duress. I've always said.
That's what they said.
That's why they call it a code.
I've always said none of the defense attorney has asked the magical term, or what? Remember we discussed that, Vi?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So R. Kelly wouldn't let me leave, or what?
Like Faith Rogers with the gun situation.
R. Kelly told me to get on my knees and give him some head, or what?
And the question, because somebody did bring it up by in the Chicago for the they was trying to say that he held someone against their will, and Jennifer did not ask that, or what?
No, nobody has, but she will upon appeal. But that is the magical term. The magical term is, or what? What were the ramifications in the event that they decide not to participate in his fuckery?
Because all of them went. Remember, he even said it in the Gayle King. So I'm holding you against your will, but I let you go get some shoes from your daddy.
From your uncle house up the street.
From your uncle house.
Yeah. And you know, we've also discussed before that conspiracy. He's charged with racketeering, right? Racketeering falls underneath the conspiracy umbrella, right? You can't conspire with yourself to commit a crime.
Exactly.
The full definition of and it may differ in some municipalities, but it's two or more people in agreement in furtherance of a particular crime. That is the ultimate. So, if he was, you know, if he was racketeering, please show me where the other people that were charged with the same thing that he was charged with, and they're doing the same. Right. I mean, I want to say in some municipalities in Chicago and in New York, you get half of whatever the amount of time that is given to the principal. So if you and I rob a bank in New York, and the person who had the gun gets 99 years, and I'm going to get half of that if I'm an accessory to it. So or secondary culprit. This is a shit show. This really shows that the judicial system is a true shit show.
That's what Donald Trump been saying.
And what do you think about this, Q? Because I did a story a couple weeks ago about the DJ up in North Carolina who pled guilty to raping 693 black women, infecting some with HIV, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. And a judge came.
Was it forcible rape, or was it consensual sex where he did not disclose his HIV status?
Well, see, I thought you can't consent with minors.
Well, no. Well, it depends. What's the age of consent in North Carolina?
I'm not sure, but a lot of where it say when
they said Georgia is 16
is minor women, minor girls, which mean if they was over the age of consent, they wouldn't have been considered minors. But you know, he 693, and yeah, he didn't disclose his status, which he gave. They try to say it was only one of the girls contracted HIV, but this shit, like, come on,
But wait a minute. Did he go to trial or he pled guilty?
He pled guilty.
Okay, because that would have been that should have netted him a life sentence, because that's separate counts. Yeah. They had to have agreed to this, which is asinine. But still, even if the prosecution and the defense agreed to a particular plea deal, it doesn't necessarily mean the court will accept it.
Right. Well, they accepted it, then came back and reduced his sentence from 30 years to 19 years, which he'll be out in 5 years. And while he was in prison, he was still contacting some of these girls when he wasn't supposed to, trying to intimidate.
Yeah, sound like they did what's called PCR, post conviction relief, and probably did a reconsideration of sentence on that.
Well, the question, Q, that I want to know why. Oh, I'm asking for my own personal reasons. If the attorney that brought all of these charges against me have been found guilty of fraud and everything else along with it, and he's actually doing time, and then he turns around and say, well, the charges that has been brought up on Sandra is what he said, 90% is false and 10% may or may not be true.
Are you speaking of Michael Avenatti?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's kind of iffy. When you're dealing with a member of the bar, in their testimony, the number one thing that the courts look at is they have to avoid the appearance of impropriety. Okay, his whatever he's saying has to hold some type of validity. Now, because he's a convicted felon, and now he wants to say a different story, it can
But
be
he said
considered.
this before he was convicted.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
had he been arrested?
He said that before he even got arrested.
Before he got arrested.
That's interesting.
He said, just like with R.Kelly, he said 90% of this is BS and only 10% of it,
may not be true.
It may not
Well,
be true.
I still say that if R. Kelly should have did time for anything, it should have been for the 2008 trial. The things that he's dealing with right now, and even though that little girl may have been hot in the tail, she was still underage. That is what he should have did time for. This here is them trying to make up for what they screwed up last time.
That's what I said too. But how is it that you're able to come, in the court in Chicago, the officer, he literally testified and said that the tape that was presented was not the original tape, because the original tape had something on it that tape did not have on it, and that the tape that they presented did not. That tape had audio, and the previous tape had no audio, and you could barely see. The pixels was off on the original tape.
Well, here's the thing: R. Kelly case went before a grand jury before full indictment, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. You know what they said about a grand jury? It will indict a ham sandwich.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
Okay. And you got to realize that in the grand jury, when you go to the beginning of that process, the defense is not allowed in there. Just the prosecution. You do know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. Yeah,
you're not allowed to defend. I'm not allowed to defend my client during grand jury. That is primarily the state. That's it.
Wow.
That's why they say a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich.
So we won't ever be able to know all of the people that got immunity, all of these people that names that has never been quote unquote mentioned, that we probably do know.
Unless there were actual victims, those names are part of the record. They're not sealed.
They're not sealed?
No, not unless they're actual victims.
So we can actually see them.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want to show something with Q, because we talk about the 2008 trial, and I got something. This is a old interview from R.Kelly attorney during the 2008 trial, and it's very. I'm not sure if you ever saw this, or I know you be watching the page from time to time, and I played this before. But his attorney from that trial is going to tell why the man was not convicted in the 2008 trial, and it was primarily based off the tape why he wasn't convicted. I want to know. I just want to hear what your thoughts is about his explanation.
Okay.
Saw the tape and then put that kind of basically unknown lawyer to come to as the chutzpah to call in a 34-year-old basically unknown lawyer to come to his defense and take a look at it and represent him. And because you got to remember what we as lawyers do, it's as if they're standing there but they're talking through us. And to put that kind of faith in me on a world stage, I was honored to do it. And then when I got in it and took a look at it and talked to the witnesses and saw the tape and then truly believed that the state could not prove beyond a reasonable doubt the charges and knew it, I think I had an obligation as a member of the bar to take that case and what Thurgood Marshall say, you do the best you can with what you got. And it turned out that we were We were pretty successful. To this day, people who weren't sitting there and saw it who say, look.
So I want to be clear to people. He say for the people who wasn't sitting there inside the courtroom and saw what actually took place. And this is the problem. What the public gets from the news media is one thing versus what actually goes on inside of the trial. So he's gonna, he reiterated that. So I'm gonna let it play.
Pretty successful. To this day, people who weren't sitting there and saw it, who say, look, I saw the tape and all that, didn't see the experts testify that those tapes very well were doctored, that those tapes were very well, the pixels were off, and there were moles missing on him that he actually had. They didn't see that evidence. So to say that, I'm just not being truthful when I say it very well could not have been him, and certainly the government couldn't prove that it was him. They certainly didn't sit there and go through it. And that jury came.
So with that being said, Q, if they never even proved it was him on the tape, how is it that they prove it was her on the tape?
One of the things that we go through with CLE, which is continuing legal education, I haven't been in a minute, they discuss 4 important factors when it comes to identity. One is relevance of the identity. The other one is burden of proof. The other one is identification. And the other one is methods of establishing identity. I'll say it again. Relevance of identity, burden of proof, eyewitness identification, and methods of establishing identity. So what this attorney is arguing is whenever you're dealing with anything that's forensic, a knife, video recording, anything else, there is a chain of custody that has to be noted whenever that thing moves. If it moves from one side of the jury box to the next, it has to be documented. Now, when you present that, have you noticed that whenever police departments now put out video surveillance, body cam footage, they have to notate whether it is altered or unaltered.
Yes.
It can be presented. It can be presented as altered. It can be presented as unaltered. But once it's noted as this is an altered video, then you have to move forward with it as an altered video. Now, if you give this as this is undoctored, and it finds that it has been doctored, it kills that method of establishing identity.
So this is what you have when they say right here.
Right. Correct. So now, so let's say, for instance, you were accused of some. As a matter of fact, there was a case, George Lee, United States versus George Lee. It was a case happening in New Orleans, and it was a police officer. I remember it vividly because I actually sat second chair on that case. Needless to say, George Lee was a police officer, and George was actually R-wording some prostitutes. Well, the girl said that he put put a napkin that held his semen in his pocket. Okay, in his pocket. So now this was a chain of custody. They had to keep keep things as it were. Well, when it got to forensic, it wasn't in the pocket. It was back at where it was left. So even though they had his DNA on it, it still had an issue with the method of establishing identity. It had to be the way that they said that they found it. So he ended up beating that case, but he got his ass caught up again with something else foolish. But needless to say, that is one of the issues that they ran into with the R.Kelly in the 2008 trial. It was an issue with evidence and identification, of course, but it was more on the evidence than it was on identification. It was more on the video.
The tape this time, in the Chicago, the guy testified and said that that the tape had been done or something.
Right.
It
This what
wasn't
he
the
said.
original.
He said the feds altered and manipulated the tape. But he said those at those relevant times, the government even admits they received multiple versions of video one, and that some of them are altered and manipulated, and HSI agent made digitized versions of some of the copies, but did not explain what versions the agent chose or why those particular versions of the videos were shown. So
Methods of establishing identity.
So, and you got this dude
Under methods of establishing identity, you have finger and thumb impression, voice identification, digital comparison, a comparison of writing, and identification, and just flat out identification. So the digital comparison is what we're discussing right now. So, but even R. Kelly was in charge with forcible
No.
taking of sex, was he?
No.
Then the video that they have is just there to prove a bad act.
A bad act. Exactly. And so they use bad act witnesses to prove a bad act.
Correct.
And what about the judge that said in the New York saying that before his case ever hit her desk, she was going to give him 30 years anyway?
Well, every cop wants to be an attorney, every attorney wants to be a judge, and every judge wants to be God.
Wow.
Okay. So, and just because that judge has a predisposed ideology about how he's going to deal with the case, he's not the final say.
Right.
It still has to go through the appellate process. And to think, as a sitting judge, as a sitting judge on the Supreme Court, trust me, when I tell you, just as the average referee wants to referee the Super Bowl, they want to review this case.
And I know they want to review it after this dude just sit up here and talked about one of the sitting people on the Supreme Courts. This dude just literally talked about the black man like there is no other white people on this panel that's doing in the Supreme Courts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I've shared it with Vi. I don't think I've shared with you. I'm not a fan of R. Kelly, but I am a fan of proper process. This is not proper process.
Well, I mean, and it's, you know what, you don't have to be a fan of R. Kelly, but it's just right is right, wrong is wrong, and everything about this whole entire situation has been wrong. And to think that this man has put as many years into the music industry and poured into other people to sit in jail as long as he had with no bond and now no money. I don't think it's fair.
Well, and here's the thing. R. Kelly wasn't the first, and I don't think he'll be the last person of prominence to have an appetite for different women. Okay? It's just a reality.
It's a reality.
Right now, look what they doing with what's finna be going on with Shaq right now. His ex-wife coming out, speaking out. And they got all this shit they starting to run on Shaq now. And Shaq having, not being faithful and all this shit. All because Shaq now has a girlfriend who's about the age of his children.
But she can't talk, baby.
Now the ex-wife is out making books and doing press runs and talking about
she is.
Never loved.
So she talking about her husband sleeping with the man in the pastor's study?
But I ain't getting off into that part, but I know she's out doing press runs talking about she never loved Shaq when she was with him, how she felt about the relationship, this, that, and the third. And it's all because of this. You know, right now they making a big deal about Shaq dealing with this girl who's a young woman, but she's the age of his children. But you know, like I say, but they say Russell Simmons' daughter is getting to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Dating a 65-year-old man.
In carnival culture in New Orleans, don't take my word for it, just look it up. They mimic the behavior of kings of the past. When you look at clubs like Rex, who's the king of carnival, you have Nantucket, you have these other carnival clubs. The king never selects his queen to reign during Mardi Gras. It's always selected by the organization, and that queen is always right out of high school.
Yep.
Doesn't matter how old the king is.
Yeah. Sometimes
the king can be 70, 80 years old, but the queen will sometimes be 19, maybe 20. If you look at the movie Color Purple, when Danny Glover approached the father, Danny Glover was well in his 40s, and Whoopi Goldberg at the time was playing a 12-year-old. They didn't just pull this out of thin air. You know, this was popular behavior. So, but hey, I don't want to go off on that tangent, man. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to continue listening in. Vi, you know, I love your content, man. I love your enthusiasm. And you always have some very good guests on your show.
Man, I appreciate it. You know, I see you and I say, man, they're going to cute. Somebody was asking about you.
I was asking. It was me.
I was like, you see Q come in there, like,
but there was somebody. There was somebody I contacted me. They sent me an email, and I sent them some stuff back. Helped them with a case, and I sent me back. They sent me back a response days later, telling me thanks. I can't remember who the person was. I probably can look and check. I don't know, like people like giving up their real names, but needless to say, he was dealing with something with a child support case, and I helped him file something, and he was able to take care of it. But it was one of your listeners.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
That's a good thing.
I say, Q, man, you do your thing, bro. You know, and I appreciate you. You know,
anytime,
we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Well, you know, I only deal with two platforms. It's not you. It's gonna be Sylvia. Other than that, I don't go on nobody else's platform. I've been invited to talk on legal panels and everything. I just don't go.
That's it, man. That's it. That's all. That's, you know, and I appreciate that, man. You know, it's all respect. And, you know, every time you come, I'm gonna give you the flow because I'm sitting over here soaking up the knowledge. You know, and when you go back and hear some, like with Harvey Weinstein case, and you hear about them, you know, the judge dismissed it. They overruled it because of the prejudice that was, that was brought against him. And I'm like, damn, man, Q Nunham told us that shit, man. You know, and understand that, you know.
Somebody said that he was going to die in jail. I said, nah, Harvey Weinstein will probably be out by the end of 2024 or probably by the beginning of 2025. That's exactly what happened.
You know what's so crazy, though? Some of the act witnesses that they used in the New York trial was witnesses that they didn't even find credible in the California trial.
Yep.
So the California trial is finna be thrown out. So, you know, Harvey Weinstein probably, you know, more than likely, you know, it's a good chance that he's gonna be home.
Well, I tell you this, you know, these people, they're victims, are blinded by fame, entertainment, and power. And when they don't get the fame and entertainment or power that they're looking for, they become disgruntled. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not. But that is what happens. even the young ladies that have dealt with R. Kelly. If Robert Kelly was somebody that worked at Safeway Market down on 53rd and Vine, nobody would give a damn.
Thank you, baby. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
I agree.
So my philosophy is you'll play stupid games, you'll win stupid prizes. However, these girls, everyone has been involved with this case. Everyone, not some, not most, everyone, by my own understanding, has made a profit from this involvement. Even from the brother. You can't tell me that Carrie hasn't been paid to be interviewed.
Everybody, like you say, man.
Everybody
that you've seen in the media has been, they was like man, they ain't give us number $1,200, man. $1,200 story.
I got a Big Vi. I got a picture of the person who's influencing everyone to come forward on Robert Kelly.
Okay. You had to see it because I seen this fool right here, Jim DeRogatis. He talked about how he bragged about time to mute R. Kelly and the surviving R. Kelly, how they praised him and said if it wasn't for him he wrote an article about R. Kelly having a coat in 2017, which sparked all of this bullshit from the Mute R. Kelly campaign, the Surviving R. Kelly, the first one. He said just the first one, but if you can email it to me, that'll be.
I don't. Hey, Vi, I don't have to email it. You can look up Ben Franklin anytime you get a chance to.
That's it, man. That's it.
That's the guys behind all of this.
Ben Franklin, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Franklin is a beast, man. He make people do some weird shit. Let me get out of here, man. I'll continue listening there.
Yep.
What up with it, Jay Rizzo?
What's going on, Vi? I don't know who else is on. Hey, Nisi, I don't know who else on. I don't know if it's just both of y'all. Or...
I'm on too.
Oh, okay. Oh, Yellow Beezy on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I heard Q was on. Q had just got off. Man, I was going to follow up with him on that little bit more information I told him about earlier with that he didn't know about. But I had to jump on right quick because I was like, damn. I was going to chill out. I was going to mind my own business. And then when you said...
you can't mind your own business on this.
I know I can't. But the reason why I said that was because when I heard what Jim DeRogatis said about when R. Kelly wrote You Are Not Alone, and said it was about Aaliyah, I'm like, I know I just didn't hear what this fat fuck just said.
Sure,
I know I did not just hear this fat, bloated, stank, greasy 12 sandwich motherfucker. Yes, I'm quoting directly from Harlem Nights when Eddie Murphy talked about old boy. Yes, I'm going right down the line as he said it. And even though you pulled up the proof and said that Michael wrote that song in regards to his relationship with Lisa Marie Presley, but yet you still want to come out and still push this narrative. Here's the ultimate question that nobody's asking themselves. Who is Jim to be getting all this information? What makes him so important, more important than the police? More important than any other criminal investigating attorney? What makes him such a such a big grand figure that he has to all of a sudden get access to all the information. And oh boy, I don't know where the hell they got Smart Brother from, Undercover Brother, doing the damn interview.
Man, I wouldn't look at that dude's page. He only have 158 subscribers. Where the hell did Jim find him at to do a goddamn interview with?
Yeah, and he up there talking about, well, if it wasn't for your work, would we really have justice? Motherfucker, we still ain't got justice now.
Right. Let me see. Hold on.
We won't get justice until his fat ass is locked up.
And then you talk about, well, Aaliyah happened in 95 and 96. First off, Aaliyah wasn't around 95 and 96. By the time 96 rolled around, Aaliyah dropped an album with Timbaland and Missy, 1 in a Million, when she was breaking with them. And it was 94 because the only time you heard anything about it in 95 was courtesy of Vibe magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, that magazine dropped 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, about a week and a half before Christmas. Well, I know it was at least a week before Christmas because I bought my copy of that magazine about a couple days before Christmas when it came out.
Jennifer working. Why Jennifer so quiet? She working. She working. She working on Harvey and she working on Kale. She be having so much, she be getting convictions overturned every day, look like, on her Instagram.
And don't forget, what's her name? She working too. She working on getting this fat bastard.
Ashley?
Yes.
Yeah.
They gonna get that fat bastard.
Well, look to check your boy out. Somebody came for me in the comments and say, y'all shouldn't be making fun of Mr. Kelly. I say, how was this making fun of Mr. Kelly? This shit was funny to me.
What?
Stop it! Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more! Fuck this.
Yeah, I've seen this, I've seen this.
That ain't making fun of Mr. Kelly. That's Mr. Kelly getting his get back.
That's that get back, man. That's that get back.
Mm-hmm. But Vi, I'm gonna send you another clip, and oh boy, are you gonna love it? Man. And I'm not. And you wanna know the funny part about it? I'm not even gonna have to tell you how to set it up.
Yeah.
Because when you see it, you're gonna automatically know. You're gonna automatically know. I'm not even gonna. It's gonna be one of those scenarios like if you was in Family Feud and you had only one answer to get.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, I know how I'm gonna do this. I already know.
But y'all seen the shit show going on out here?
Well, what that?
We got people over here on this side making allegations. These people sick as hell.
Nah, I'm out of it. I'm way out the way.
Speaking of allegations, when the hell they come out with this? Like all of a sudden now Shaq supposedly got a 21-year-old girlfriend or something, and now all this. When did this stuff break out?
That's his wife. Some shit that the ex-wife is putting out. She's doing her press runs and different tours and shit.
But they ain't getting no money. The money ain't coming in right.
I'm looking at this shit like.
Damn.
The money ain't coming in right.
Yo, it's your boy. It's your boy Hov. Oh
Damn.
no. Something just ain't right.
It just ain't right.
Damn. Damn.
They got Peter. They got Peter. They got Peter on the meter, y'all. Oh man, somebody got some weird going on. What? Well, yeah, what's up, Lottie? Man, look. I'm finna get ready to get up out of here, man. But you know, we can pick back up on that. We most definitely can pick back up on this story tomorrow. We've been on for 2 hours and 50 minutes thus far. But you know, for this guy to be bragging about, you know, his involvement in helping bring down Mr. Kelly, as he say, and finally get justice for the women, as he say, it's very, very important that we shed a light on this brother, because he's been able to elude taking the stand for over 20 years. Now, you talk about following R. Kelly for 20 years, 20 plus years, and R. Kelly doing this, that, and the third for 20 plus years, but you have avoided testifying and coming out to take the stand on behalf of these women that you claiming were abused by Mr. Kelly for over 20 years. So, you know, I'm more about your actions. You know what I'm saying? You could come out here and say whatever, but you don't give a damn about these black women. That's the same reason you are the same reason why Geronda Pace wanted to sue you behind a book that you put out was her story that she wasn't profiting off of. But you don't speak about that. You got people, you have a lot of these women coming out talking about their stories were used for profit that they wasn't benefiting from. And who put out a book about their stories? Allegedly, Jim DeRogatis. Why do I call him a brother? I'm just speaking in general. Why do you question how I speak? But I mean, according to God, he's my brother. But I mean, I'm just speaking. I'm just speaking. That's it. That's all. My brother. But Jim DeRogatis, you know, all your miserable nights, stalking R. Kelly, preying on R. Kelly, you know, using and abusing the black community. Because that's pretty much what you did. You've used and abused, you know, through the assistance of Susan Loggins and Sparkles and Barry Hankerson and others that needed your expertise in journalism to put their stories in the paper and in the press. You know,
Demetrius Smith,
the
real essay.
You know, so you know, my whole thing is when I get on here and I speak, you know, I talk the way I talk. You know, at the end of the day, you know, that's just how I talk. Man, I've been talking this way my whole life. You know, that's just how I talk.
Nephew, keep talking, baby. If somebody got a problem with it, tune in somewhere else.
Man, I don't mind. I don't think it's a problem. I just think people they have their views on life, and that's that. I have my views in the way that I deal with it. That's that. I mean, that's it. If I saw Jim DeRogatis today, I just sit here, I call him my brother, but if I was to see him, I'd knock his ass smooth off his feet. Clean the fuck out. I don't agree with nothing that this man has done. I don't agree with nothing, any of this biased journalism that he's promoted for over 20-some years. You know, but you know, that's just it's just crazy though. you know, how people could, you know, this dude really just like, you know, he's happy and feeling like he's accomplished something. So I wonder how he's gonna feel when Mr. Kelly's conviction is overturned and Mr. Kelly is released from prison. Then what is he gonna say? Because y'all
And
know he
Mr.
was
Trump
pissed
come
off.
get that fat ass.
You know the first thing he's gonna say, right? The first thing he's gonna say is that the system failed.
The system failed.
Well, the system failed when they didn't get his fat ass.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you good. Hey, new Black Panther, you good, my brother. Ain't nothing. You know, ain't nothing, man. We ain't nothing. That's something we don't do over here. You asked the question, and I basically answered the question that you asked. That's it. That's all. You know, it's all respect. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing
Well,
else. Other
my
than that.
brothers got different fathers, and I still consider him a brother.
Yeah. So the whole goal is to see Peter on the meter.
Period.
Well, new Black Panther. I mean, not new Black Panther, but Q None will say the one with the messed up hairline. What's up with it, Monty?
What's going on?
Not much, man. What you think about the show today, man?
Hey man, I was in and out, but what I was hearing, man, look, all I know is this Jim DeRogatis dude. My brothers from the nation need to show up. They need to
Thank
pull
you.
up. They need to
Thank you.
look. He tried to cause disparagement on the Nation of Islam, on
Yes,
some
Right.
he
child
did.
pedophilia. You tried to
Yes.
associate a whole man. Listen, they need to pull up.
First he said it was a player hater. Then he said he believed it was the Nation of Islam. He all over the
What?
place.
He can't get his lines straight.
Nah, he can't.
They can help him
That's a
get it
nigga. That's a
straight.
nigga that just want to be relevant. That's all.
That's it.
They can help him get it
How
straight.
how are you a music critic in over 25, 30 years? The only music you have critiqued was R.Kelly. All the shit the East Coast and the West Coast had going on, you wouldn't them stories wasn't good enough for you.
And you know what, Vi? He named 2 names for Jive Records. I
Yeah,
just want to
Clive
know,
Calder,
huh?
Barry Wiseman, Clive
Yeah,
Calder.
these people are still alive.
He said they are enablers.
Yeah, he called them enablers. And these 2 people that I do know are still alive. And I'm going to make sure they hear his story.
But I was telling y'all about the biasness. I'm gonna play this so we can get out of here, man, because the dude gonna ask him about these 2 people. Let me see. Hold on. Now check this out.
Bye. I'm out. I'm going to share this live.
Okay.
Okay.
But they illegal fucking marriages. And listen to how he tried to justify this shit. Illegal marriages, grown ass men, underage girls. Now listen to him justify this for Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis. So you see how he you see how he went around the question that was asked. You see how he went all the way around the question. The man asked him a simple question about Elvis Presley and Priscilla, Jerry Lee Lewis and his cousin. He said those were one marriages that lasted a long time. They don't have the body count. 68 women. They don't have the body count as Mr. Kelly. What the fuck does the body count got to do with the illegal aspect of it?
Vi. Even with the body count, is still a damn lie. We are talking about Elvis Presley here.
Presley.
We are talking about the man who has been ordained by mainstream media as the king of rock and roll and has been called that for many decades since the damn late 50s going through 60s and 70s.
Exactly. And I watched the Elvis movie. I watched the Elvis movie. Priscilla was the reason why she wanted to leave at time was because of the women that Elvis was bringing home. The different.
And see, that's the thing. You don't think that man had the kind of body count when he was going through multiple decades. The women that he got thrown at him.
And just listen to this story. He really was going to these parents asking for their children. And they were giving them to him. But then you see who they try to make the face of that shit.
Oh, yeah.
This shit is all strategic, man. But I laughed at the simple fact that he danced around that specific question. When
he didn't just dance around. He tried to give full-blown justification for that fuckery. And hell, Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin.
His cousin, man. His motherfucking cousin, man.
His cousin, his own blood.
Right, Jack. Right. That's simple. That's what I said right there. You ain't finna convince me, a black man living in America, that another black man was able to commit crimes for 30 years and just now being caught. Fucking possible, man. I'll never believe it.
Nope. And then on top of it, what did your boy Jim already say? Well, you talk about morality and the record label like they synonymous with one another. He said everybody. Then he said everybody was complicit, from the errand boy to the producer to the mixer to all the artists that
even him
with him.
Because all these women coming to him. So what that make him? If all these women are coming to him, what does that make him?
And even in the midst of all this, Jimmy just couldn't pass up to throw a little shot at Michael Jackson in the process.
Right. I wonder what those two were talking about. Man, come on, bro. Well, J-Rock, man, I'm finna get ready to get up out of here, man. It has been a great live today. And like you say, man, I wanna finish this tomorrow. Hopefully, if I'm off early tomorrow, hopefully we can finish this part, the second half of this interview, and where he's gonna talk more about the number of women that came to him, the number of women who testified, against Mr. Kelly, and so on and so forth. So but this is the type of shit that you see what you call bias reporting. You know what I'm saying? This dude right here, when you hear him talking about he's for justice, and you hear him talking about he's for right or wrong, and you hear him ask the question about a situation that we all know took place, and you see him deflect from answering the question and talk about, well, it's the body count. Well, how the fuck? It ain't the body count that got this man in going through what he going through. It's the allegation of underage girls. So if Elvis married an underage girl, Jerry Lee Lewis married his underage cousin, you know, how do you sit here and justify that, but then you call another man a monster? Like,
there is no journalistic integrity on any part of this man's body whatsoever, and that's a big fucking body not to have not even a piece of one.
Yep. So,
but the DOJ, the Fed, see, the Feds knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. It's no, this is just going from day one. It's no way. See, it's just like Bob when I told you when you first started talking about it. If Mr. Kelly assaulted your children, abducted your children, you know, sodomized, whatever your children, why didn't you go to the law? Why didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you?
They went to him.
You go to a journalist or the media or a lawyer, but you don't go to the police.
My point exactly. And here's the other question. Vi, who was the name of the black journalist or the black people you talking about that he said he really started it and he just picked up on it? You said like a black lady or somebody that he had mentioned first.
He said the mute R.Kelly, you know, they took his mute R.Kelly, thanked him and told him without his article that he published in 2017 about R.Kelly having a cult, they wouldn't have been able to launch their mute R.Kelly campaign. And then Dream Hampton and them came along and they told him, you know, thanks for, you know, your thanks to your article, we were able to, you know, produce the Surviving R. Kelly, you know, season 1, you know, episode, the first Surviving R. Kelly.
Right.
So he pretty much made him feel like his book, his article that he published about R. Kelly having a cult.
Yeah, I remember that part, but I think he mentioned somebody else prior to them, saying that the woman's like 45 years old.
Oh, he talked about the woman that worked in the she worked with him at the Sun Time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was 45 years old and put her kids through college and all that shit. I forgot her name, but she worked with him at the Sun Time. I guess it was him, her, and somebody else that worked at the Sun Time who were the investigators who researched all this information and looked up. He said they got documents unsealed and all type of shit. I'm like, really? So you, a civilian, got documents unsealed that, you know, like what type of authority did you have to get documents unsealed?
And see, it's funny. They got all this information and did all this research and said if it wasn't for them, but did all this and all that, we wouldn't be able to get this far. And this lady here also. But nobody mentioned the incident in Lafayette, Louisiana that happened.
And neither the lawsuit.
They will not bring that up at all. Because once
Go ahead. I just hope and pray to God. That is just my number one intercessory prayer right now for Mr. Kelly. Is that one, he gets exonerated, and one, I hope he gets a new trial. Because you know why? He gets a new trial. Now he can have all those parents subpoenaed. See, and the feds are gonna fight. They're gonna fight tooth and nail to stop that. Their parents are gonna. He can subpoena all of them.
Oh yeah,
Well, see, that's what he thought when he said take it to trial because he had evidence. They remember Ann Donnelly, she wouldn't allow his evidence to be entered into the courts.
Yeah, that's prosecutorial misconduct. She needs to be thrown off the bench.
What up, Uncle Muse? What's up with it, Vanessa? What's going on with it, Pearl? I see Big Dean, something up there. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'm telling y'all, I really wish I could stay later, man. But I
But
really gotta
I had
go.
to give you some, baby. Reason why I came back. Okay, Vi, when you go to Jive Records, okay, I know those names that he mentioned. But it's something in particular that sticks out. And Uncle Muse, you know, you're gonna pick this up as they say on your way to the house, because you already got the answer to this here. Why when you go look up Jive Records, it gives you the little deep history and what have you. But when you see R.Kelly's name up under the history, y'all, let me tell y'all, Robert Sylvester Kelly owns Jive Records. But they had to discredit this man and give it to, as though Sony owns Jive Records.
Well, Dev, you're gonna have to send me that link.
I'm gonna send it to you. We've been knowing this for the longest. Rob owned Jive Records. Senator DeSane, he broke that down. Robert Sylvester Kelly owned Jive Records. They know it.
We might have a little bit more dig. Well, got some more digging to do tonight, then, because I know Senator saying he got a lot of videos over there, man. I really want to go back. I gotta get over there and go back through some, because there's one particular video I've been trying to find over there on his
That
channel.
last video is when he broke it all down.
Who all get paid off of every time R.Kelly put out a song? Who all get paid off of the song before he get paid? And he broke down a lot of stuff over there. So I look forward to getting over there. You know, and I think tomorrow when I'm working, I'm just gonna go over there through them videos and let some play while I'm driving, and eventually I'll find the right one I'm looking for.
The one video I'm looking for for Senator Sane in particular is him breaking down the whole Aaliyah marriage. I can't find that one.
A lot of stuff, y'all, if we didn't save it, y'all do know they took a lot of stuff down. Like remember I told y'all some of the stuff that I know that Prima Donna had. I know she got it, but they took this stuff out. I mean, you can't even Google it. It ain't even there.
It's crazy. Well, we're gonna keep on pushing the gas, man. What's up,
Well,
Reba?
I'm gonna pull them names for you, Vi, because I'm gonna go and pull the whole the immunity deal. Yeah, we gonna get them names.
Yeah, Q say that's public record.
Hey, I'm gonna pull it.
What's up with it, Reba? Yeah, man. I'm finna. Yeah, y'all can see
Okay.
I done got a little Drain Monty, J Rock, Nismo, Yellow Beezy, Q. Shout out to Q Nundra, man, for blessing.
Yes, Q is Q. Thank you. I just asked Vi about. I just literally was talking to Vi, saying that I wish you would come on because we had questions after Rob's the appeal. So yeah. So, but we thank God for you. We truly thank God for you and pray for your covering, and we'll continue to pray for Jennifer and her team's covering.
Yeah. And Q, if you are listening, I got the information on the incident in Lafayette, Louisiana. The info that you didn't know about, I got I got the whole thing. I don't have, well, not the whole thing, but I got some key information.
Yeah, about 90% of it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't you get the information too about the lawsuit? Aaliyah lawsuit?
About, oh yeah. That's courtesy of Big Vibe.
No, that's right there from Audra, man. I'm gonna give her credit. Audra, she brought that to the front, you know.
Thank you, Audra.
I don't dislike her to the point to I discredit her, but anytime you know what I'm saying, that other shit she be on, you know, I don't be
Yeah,
no.
we can't do that. We ain't gonna do that. We're all fighting together. We're all in this fight as one. I had to go. Y'all will probably hear my name, probably blasted and plastered. I don't care, but right is right, wrong is wrong. If I fight with you, I fight with you. But if you gonna go against what we're fighting, I can't stand with you on that. I ain't gonna stand with you on that. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. So
Robert don't deserve this, and nobody else deserve to be uh like they just some monster out here. No, my men are more than monsters.
all right, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm finna get ready to get up out of here, man.
Yeah. Hey, but I'm gonna give you a quick call after live's over. I'm not gonna be on the phone long with you.
Okay.
See y'all.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, Monty, man. Thank you for coming through. And like I always say, man, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. One of the best chat families out here, man. I appreciate y'all every day. Y'all showed up for me today. Y'all showed out for me today. Y'all hit that like button, man. Y'all got us over 100 likes on the video. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. Thanks for y'all patience. Thanks for y'all unwavering commitment, you know, to coming over to the live show every day. And like I say, man, yeah, I can get on here every day and cut on this live, but without you guys and ladies in the chat coming and support, you know, I wouldn't be able to, you know, do this thing the way that I do it. So I want to give my appreciation to all of you in the chat for everything that you all do to support me. And shout out to Sheriff for the Cash App donation. I really do appreciate it. And if anyone would like to donate to Big Vile Opinion, you can do so on Cash App at $ Big Vile Opinion, or you can do as Conundrum as Conundrum did by super chat or super sticker. And I want to say thanks to Conundrum. You know, everything is appreciated, and everything will be used to invest back into the channel as I do so. If you have any information, you know, feel free to send it to me at Big Vile Opinion 88 on Gmail at gmail.com. Or if you all had a call-in number, you can always send me messages through the call-in number as well. I want to say, like I say, I want to continue to say thank you for the support from each and every one of you all that comes in the chat, that comes on the panel, or the ones that's in the bushes. You know, I really, really, really and truly appreciate all the support from you guys. Free Mr. Kelly. We're gonna continue to pound this injustice. We're gonna continue to shine light on Jim DeRogatis until something is done to this guy. You know, I don't think it's right that he should be out here gloating in the fact that he feels as though he is the reason why Mr. Kelly is finally put behind bars. And we're gonna keep shedding light on Jim DeRogatis until the light is no longer shining anymore. And with that being said, y'all have a blessed day, and happy belated Mother's Day to all the women all the mothers in the chat, all the potential mothers in the chat, and shout out to all of our heavenly and a big shout out to all of our heavenly mothers that are no longer with us today, who made it possible for us to even be here. So shout out to all of them as well. And with that being said, it's your boy Big Vile Opinion signing out. Until next time, we good.
does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?
I want out. But it's hard. I need answers, Mama.
Robert.
I need answers.
Son.